Hey, and welcome to the Mouthpiece Moment. Very interesting. We're on the CousinCast today, brother. That means it's all cousins. Sven isn't here because he's jerking off at a Stained concert right now.
Stained?
So,
Aaron Lewis. BFF.
So he'll be back stained.
oh, god damn it! Already? Another you already threw out a shit joke.
Hey, you know what, dude?
That was at the 24-second mark. Look at that.
That's for 2% of your listeners that
It wasn't as bad
enjoy
as
a
when we
good
went
pun,
fishing.
dude.
So this one I got 3 of my cousins. You heard cousin Mando before. Cousin Mando Ramirez Jr. We're at the house again. We just finished watching the UFC 242 event.
Oh,
it was
amazing.
lovely. I also have brothers Brian and Daniel Romero on here. How you guys doing?
What up, though?
Yeah, Brian is eating food right now. He's eating ribs and potato salad and being a bit of a jerk off, but it's okay.
It's okay.
As well as tri-tip.
He's eating some tri-tip.
I want to know how them ribs.
Mondo made the ribs. How are they?
Mondo made the ribs. He did a good job.
Ribs
Did
and
a
the
very
tri-tip.
good job.
Brought you to a lazy eye, I see. It's good.
Oh,
It's good
wow.
stuff.
Yep.
That might have been the consumption of
Alcohol?
or
Maybe.
Couple shots of.
Whatever Cheers, boys. Let's put it up. Let's put it up, boys. Cheers for the cousin cast, for all the cousins here.
Shots of vodka.
All right, there you go. I can't reach you. Sorry, bud. You're supposed to drink it, though, when you cheers,
But there was
Daniel.
nothing in it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
a-
there you go. Yeah,
I like how
a
you
little bit of
can
So-
you can
so
pick
I
up
just
my
grabbed
mom in the
this.
background yelling about her kitchen. Like,
that. People have to know what she needs to be done in her kitchen. That's a very important thing, Mondo.
But I could
Just-
hear her loud as day. Who gave her a microphone is what I'm asking.
It's okay. We're in her house. What the fuck? You can say whatever you want, Thea. We're the assholes who are sitting over here telling dick jokes.
the internet knows about my mom. How my
Who
mom's
the
kitchen's
fuck didn't
look.
flush?
Actually, we should probably start out with explaining how we're all cousins. So clearly we're at the Ramirez.
Well,
house,
there was
so.
2 people that had sex,
Right.
and then one of us came out.
God and God's lady.
and
Got
then
it.
someone related to us.
Yeah. It's weird
No,
that they
okay,
were
so
related, but hey.
Mondo's sister and these guys' sister. I'm sorry, Mondo's mom and these guys' mom are sisters.
There you
go.
Yeah, I got
You
that.
got
Oh,
it,
okay,
yes.
yeah. And then
Little
my
tongue twister
grandma is their aunt. My grandma is your parents' aunt.
Your grandma
Yes,
is
yes.
our grandmother's
Our grandma's
sister. They're
sister.
sisters.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
Our,
there you go.
our grandmothers are sisters.
Exactly. So
we're
that's how
cousins
I finished.
once removed.
Yeah, twice, thirds.
It gets complicated when you're Hispanic.
Yeah.
It gets
You-
complicated
you ha-
when you've all
yeah.
been.
Everybody's
You're
Theo to me.
Yeah, exactly. You just
I'm
say
pretty sure
anyone
my
who's
mom slept
older
with
is
a
your.
couple Theos. I don't know. dude.
Oh my gosh.
You need
I
a
had to
Venn
call
diagram.
them uncle.
You need a Venn diagram.
God.
to explain.
This is Uncle Lewis.
How
I'm
could you?
I've never seen him since September.
This is your Uncle Gary.
Gary.
Which
Well, if you guys haven't seen Big Mouth on Netflix,
No.
that's a show, right?
yeah, it's a show.
I started watching
Kroll,
it,
right?
but I live
Kroll?
in.
It is like very cringy. Like,
I live in an
the humor
apartment-
in it is terrible, but
live in an
fucking
apartment, so, like-
hilarious at the same time.
So when you play it, it's just like little kids talking about how they're learning to beat off, and I'm like, I can't have this going on.
It's fucking terrible.
I
It is
can't have
terrible.
people looking in my apartment going, dude, that
that's
guy's has children talking about their boners going on in there.
Yeah.
Tom, go to your
I
room.
couldn't fucking stop watching that shit. Was just too fucking hilarious to me. I have a really dark sense of humor. So
You remember
I had
those
to fucking-
times?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I remember those times. I was beating off like fucking 6 times a day, and that was before noon.
Oh my god! And then you just stopped afternoon.
Yeah.
Like afternoon, you're like, I
the
can't
other
be.
day-
You're like a weird, like you had this weird religion where
Can
you couldn't beat
swallow-
off afternoon.
Can you swallow your rib before you speak?
Fuck no,
Please,
dude! I'm gonna
thank
talk
you.
while I have a rib in my mouth.
That's gross.
When you guys see the picture of this, it's gonna be great because Brian is the one that keeps talking with it, that's eating, and he has this mustache, and it looks so weird because he looks like a 12-year-old who has a sick mustache. He looks like you shaved a 12-year-old's head, and then they grew like a good mustache. He has a legit mustache. It's no
Yeah.
bullshit. Like I can't grow that.
Do not
You're
pass go.
clearly
Do not
more.
collect $200.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, announce me as the Monopoly guy," and I'm like,
I forgot my top
I think
hat,
they'll
my
figure
bad.
it out.
So the other day I went to my doctor's. I was getting a physical.
We found
He's
out
like,
you have
excuse me.
herpes.
He said, Mr. Romero, you're gonna have to stop masturbating. I said, why? He said, because I'm trying to give you a physical.
Waka, waka,
Do you guys read?
waka.
You and your brother read the same shitty, horrible joke book from like 1984?
Oh,
Actually,
before then.
I just read them and then I send them his way. So.
Oh, so you're the writer.
Oh, of course.
Got it.
Director.
Yeah, you're the Adam McKay to his Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Got it.
Yes. Yes.
I always thought it was the other way around. I thought, if anything, brain was the pinky, and then you were the brain.
Wow.
Really? You look at Daniel and think brain?
No. Yes.
Like Brian's the funnier one.
Just because he's like got the goofier.
Just
I've got
'cause
pictures of Brian like just doing like the dumb goofy look smile face, and he just looks like a caricature.
Fucking stupid, dumb
He's got-
looky smile
his-
face.
His look lends itself more to a caricature.
Look, man, I can't help that I'm a good-looking comedian.
No.
What the fuck?
Excuse me, but no.
I always thought.
Dude,
okay,
I was born first. I left him nothing. Look at him. He's 5'2".
yeah. What's how?
you're saying
Okay,
you're
what's
the
the
shorts
difference?
nigga?
Time. Hold on. How old are you, Daniel?
I am 30.
And Brian?
28.
Okay, so 2-year difference. That's the same difference between myself and my brother Matt. By the way, if you guys follow my Instagram and anyone knows my brother, he's got like a podcast going on. Whenever he announces what the name of it is, we'll let everyone know. You guys should check it out. I'm sure it's funny.
They'll be really short.
Short jokes.
Me.
You know
Sorry,
what?
dude,
Had to.
Son of your mother.
Jeebus.
Who's
All
your
right,
father's
so
cousin?
I wanted to
by the
ask you
way?
guys about this because it's a legit question. So you two guys, there's 5 of you total, right? Sibling wise.
True.
Okay, so you have 3 other brothers.
Yes.
There's one younger than Brian, and 2 older than you.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
am the middle child.
the whole like having 5 siblings. I mean, what the fuck is that like?
Dude, in one household.
That's
it
what I'm
is
saying.
Sheer chaos.
Do you guys how many bathrooms did you have growing up?
Dude,
One.
just one.
One, right? That's
One
what
in the
Well,
backyard.
you're
One
Hispanic,
in the
so
backyard. Yeah, we're
Hispanic,
boys,
so I
bro.
figured.
Okay.
I've shit in the backyard several
I was
times.
about to. That was my
Not gonna
question.
lie.
Was how many times have you taken the shit?
Oh,
in your
dude.
backyard? Like,
There's been times, dude, coming home from high school, I forgot my key, locked myself out, and
Yeah,
my
dude.
mom was working 2 jobs, so she was just never home. So I get home and I'm like, "Fuck, how am I getting in?" And it's one of those where it's like it's already
Turtle
touching,
head.
it's already touching cloth,
like
bro.
if you fart, it'll squirt.
So I'm like, oh, like, what am I gonna do? I don't have the strength to muster myself to go through a window. So you know what? Fuck it, dude. There's a bush. Like,
What'd you use for wipe? Did you use a leaf?
He didn't use
Let's just-
anything. Look
let's-
how
Oh,
embarrassed he
let's-
got.
let's just say
We had a lot of left socks.
I was gonna say, did you use a hose and just.
I have a question
Socks
about
are
that. I have a
just
question
socks.
about
How
that.
do you
Hold
know
on.
which one goes on the
I was gonna
left?
say, what kind of socks were you buying that they were like lettered?
They were labeled
They were
left
labeled
and
all
right.
of my
rights are gone.
What the
Favorite is left. Favorite is left.
What a fucking guy.
I still wore those shirts though. I didn't care, dude. Just,
Hey man, this shirt only has a left sleeve. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's barbecue sauce, bro. Don't worry about it.
Sweat stains.
the best part
All right,
was
so
I would just like use a shirt.
the old shirt, wipe
Like,
your
hey,
butt.
dude, you got a shit stain on your shirt. Yeah, I do. Remember I hooked up with Becca? Blame it on someone else.
I've taken some.
You two guys seem like you're the closest in your family as far as brothers
Yes.
goes,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah.
guys
Oh,
were
yeah,
so close
yeah.
in age that it seems like almost like you guys are fucking twins, to tell you the
But
truth.
You
yeah,
know what,
no, we get that a lot.
Growing up, though, me and him did not get along. Like,
No.
middle school, he was what you would call a baller.
Really?
Where I was a
Dude,
hardcore
cuffed to my
fucking like
pants,
punk
wore 'em
and
baggy.
wore nothing but fucking
You know,
black.
nobody can hear anything when you're both talking, right? You're both like talking, saying the same thing or something, and I'm like, we didn't hear any of that. So he's a baller. Why are you a baller?
No, he's saying Danny's a baller.
That's
No,
what I said.
no.
Daniel
Oh,
was a
yeah.
baller in high school. Why?
not a
Like, what do you mean,
baller,
dress
not-
wise?
No, not a baller in the sense that I had money. I had no
Or like
money,
basketballer?
dude. Yeah, dude.
Okay, that's what I
baller
mean.
in the
Ball.
sense that like I had to pick a style, and I chose what any sensible kid that wore a lot of
And won.
hand-me-downs would.
And one.
Cheech's pants ran kind of big, dude. So there we
Cheech is
go.
your oldest brother?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Cheech, and then I forgot the other guy. What's his name?
Eddie.
I'm just kidding, Eddie.
Because
I'm
people
just
listening don't obviously know
I
you
know.
guys, so I have to
No,
like.
sorry.
When
So-
no, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm saying when you say something, I might explain it. You're like, yeah, I know, dumbass. So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, hold,
No, no,
that's
no,
for them. Yeah, yeah.
I get that people.
I
don't
get
know.
it.
You get the people who are dumb.
We got
That's what Daniel
we all
said.
got here hours ago. and
I'm not used to
we've been-
people not knowing me because I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Well, every time I look at you, I'm like, dude, that guy, big deal.
Yeah.
That guy,
Yeah.
he's
I
got
want
a
his
good look
autograph.
to him.
But I wore
Great
really,
ass.
I wore really baggy pants, dude. I wore shoes that didn't fit me. I'd stuff them with socks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Shoes? Dude, I used to wear, my brother's shoes, dude.
Oh.
He had like these like Jordan boots. I didn't even know Jordan made boots, bro. But I was like, that's fucking sick, dude. If
You're like-
Jordan makes boots, bro.
You thought about it, and you're like Timberland or nothing.
Timberland, dude, Timber who, bro? Jordan. There's a big old 23 on the side, but that was sick, bro.
Hey, you know it's.
Okay,
you
so
know
he
it's-
was a baller.
You know it's good when he does that too.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, Brian
you
is like
look
sucking
more
on the bone right
yeah,
now.
you look more and more like my grandma.
Oh, Oh my god.
I'm
What?
just saying. That's how she would eat food, bro. Like,
Oh my god.
we would get in
visuals.
trouble, bro. If like I left like a sliver of meat on there, she's like, "You didn't finish." I'm like, "No, dude,
Just
that's
smack you
done."
in your mouth about it?
Yeah, and then she'd prove a point. She'd eat it. I'm like, "That was in my mouth, nasty."
I really have never seen anyone clean a rib like that.
Yeah.
Brian, bravo.
Yeah.
He can't even talk. Look,
And
he's
they were
still
not-
deep throating
They
it.
were not short ribs, by the way.
Which
He
brings
doesn't
me
mind.
back to why I'm very close to my brother, man.
Oh, Casey, I got you.
He
No,
you know.
kind of gay. Kind of gay.
Well,
Deep throat,
no,
deep
super, super. Well, like I like
Sure.
how I chose red, and he was like, I want to choose red too. Kind of be like,
Oh, the
kinda guy.
microphone covers.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so last weekend we actually hung out, and that's why this whole CousinCast thing started because Sven said he couldn't be here. Again, blowing dudes at the Stain concert,
Mhm.
and he said he couldn't be here. And I was like, I really want to do an episode. And last weekend we hung out at Irvine Lake that they just reopened like 2 weeks ago. I know. It's fucking. It's weird. I've never had anyone been eating barbecue while we're doing the show. It's fucking weird. It's like in the corner of my eye, I see him just like making love to
yeah,
meat,
dude,
you
you're
know, with
making
his
me
mouth.
hungry, you fucking dick.
Horrible.
So yeah, we're at Irvine Lake that just reopened like 2 weeks ago, and like I'm not a fisher guy at all. I've only been fishing like 3-4 times in my life, but I've been wanting to because I've been hanging out with Rocio's brother-in-law, Paul. Shout out the medicine man. Thank you for the pouch, brother. Brought it with me. So he been taking me fishing, and then I was talking to Mando, and we were like, oh, we should go fishing. And these guys, like you guys, all three of you here, generally have been fishing way longer than me. I guess you guys have been fishing like off and on since like 2009 or something. Is that accurate?
My brother got me. His cousin Mando. My brother got me into fishing. My voice is. I don't know. My brother got me into fishing like in 2009, 2010. I can't even talk right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
2019?
2010. And
Somewhere
then,
in the 2000s for sure.
And then we were fishing pretty frequently. Not that I'm like a professional, but I'm
you
I'm
guys-
adequate.
Right.
And
You're a masturbator.
I know, and then I don't know when, but we Daniel and I went fishing once. Brian and I have gone fishing a number of times, and then David and I have gone fishing, and then you Lance was like, hey, well, dude, we should go fishing.
I was like, whenever you guys are down,
yeah,
like, let me know.
it
TFCI, bro.
didn't take a lot of urging from any particular.
It just, like,
cousin.
happened real
Like,
quick.
Everyone was like, yeah, I'm down, let's fucking do it.
So we went fishing at Irvine Lake, and like most people are gonna understand this. Like most people are gonna think the same thing about their family. But like with my family, this is my dad's side of the family. I don't hang out with my mom's side of the family. I don't care that much. But my mom's side, my dad's side is awesome. Like these guys drink though, and most people are like, yeah, my family drinks. Like my family drinks. We're it's a Mexican family. Everyone drinks. So we already knew it was gonna be we're gonna have a good time. We get to Irvine Lake, and none of us had ever been there except Mando, I believe.
No, I'd never
You never?
been there.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
so
not to that lake.
fishing. I've
Not
done
to
a
that
mud
lake.
run. I used to do mud runs a lot.
Yeah?
I used to do them host them at Irvine Lake. I've
Yeah.
done the mud run there. But
Okay, so you're the only one that knew like what the setup was. None of
Yeah.
us did. But you have to like hike to get down to where you're gonna
Yeah.
be fishing. It was kind of interesting, and none of us brought like a wagon or anything. We were just kind of like carrying bags and shit on our back, like chairs and a
Why do you think I
fucking
invited you
easy
guys?
up. Yeah, you need some
I
help.
didn't invite you guys 'cause I wanted you guys to carry my shit.
And so we went there and we finally got set up after a brisk hike, and it was kind of funny because we set up in a place where we thought we were pretty much alone, and then this elderly couple sat up like maybe I would say 20 yards
20
away from
yards.
us, something like that.
Not too far.
And we're like, fuck, because we wanted to smoke and drink, and we're like, nah, it's gonna feel kind of weird smoking now because like
Old
they're right
people
there,
ruin it,
and we're generally respectful human beings.
Yeah.
And so we were like, this is gonna be rough. And I don't know, like 10 minutes later, we smell weed, and we're like, what? Like, which one of you guys like lit this up? And they were the couple, that elderly couple, and they're like
Yeah.
60s, is smoking a joint right there, and we're like,
Smoking, dude.
okay, I guess it's that, that's fine. We just bullshitting, hanging out. We started drinking.
Which was a trip because I don't remember which one of you guys pointed out like that you read somewhere there was no smoking or
I saw
no
it was
cigarettes.
me.
even-
It said online on the website that
Yeah.
like you're not supposed to smoke anything, not even
Yeah.
vape. They said nothing that makes vapor or whatever. You can't So I was like, oh well, I'm sure people are gonna be pretty uptight around here, especially like people in their 60s, and I assume they just came to fish and that was it. But nah, man, they came to party.
Yeah, they laughed at several of these assholes.
Yeah.
Jokes.
So Daniel just is a nonstop joke machine. He just tells jokes all day.
Stupidest puns.
Yeah,
Dumbest puns.
he's got a great 15% success rate on his jokes in a day.
Doesn't stop me from firing.
And he told. Okay, do you remember the joke you told that? Like what you said to make them laugh? What'd you say?
Yeah, Brian had thought he caught something, and he's like, "Oh man, I hooked something big." I'm like, no, man, you're hooked through my dick.
He made some like dick joke.
Yeah,
and
I did.
Then none of us laughed because it's a horrible joke, and it's a piece of shit, and he sucks. But
Thank you.
just kidding, no. But then all of a sudden it was quiet. You just hear like a like this cackle.
We were sitting underneath. We were sitting underneath the easy up, so like
Yeah.
we could hear our conversation, like anything, like you could whisper something, you could hear it. So we thought we were like, no one could hear us.
We were in
but
our own
us.
little dome.
And then he cracks this joke, and then all of a sudden we hear her laughing, like busting out, like whatever, 25 feet away from us, and it was like, you got caught, you idiot. No, it was another one that you had said something about like. You went in like waist high. Brian had gone in waist high.
Yeah, that's a whole other.
And then Daniel cracked something about like now at least there's shrimp in the water or something like
And
that.
she laughed again. The same
She
lady laughed.
busted
Yeah.
out, like, and then we're like, dude, this chick is awesome.
Yeah,
This
Brian
girl-
did. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say. They were awesome. They were fun.
Brian decided that he's like, I'm gonna go in there and get some live action. I'm gonna stand in the water, and me being a fucking creepy fucking rule reader, I was like, it said right on the website that you can't go in the water. That's clearly stated on page 45. You can't go in. So I'm like, and he's like, it's cool, man. Like I'm gonna go in if they tell me something. Fuck it, whatever. I'll go out.
Deal with it.
So we're just like, okay, whatever. And he had his shirt off at this point, so he's just wearing like. They weren't even cargo shorts. Whatever that is. What are you wearing right now? Whatever you're wearing right now.
It's
It's
just like
some gray like Dickies or
gray
something.
Vans.
They're above the knee.
Let's call them capris, just because I
Capris,
want to make
yeah.
you sound.
Okay, you
more
can say that. So the
feminine.
capris.
I wasn't trying to get out of the water because the blowfish were in town.
To give you a good image, is like the night before, the girl left her booty shorts at his house, and he said, "I'm gonna wear these fishing."
Yeah.
So he goes in the water and he's like fishing in the water. To people that don't like fish, it's called wading, I guess.
Yes.
So he's like the water's up to mid thigh, just and he's in there with his mustache and his topless fucking mustache, and he's like he's fishing, and then
Looking
this boat
American.
comes by. This boat pulls up, and there's like a young girl in there, and it's clearly like whoever, like the park ranger, whatever you want to call it, whatever that place is called. It's someone who's in charge there, and she's on the boat, and the boat just like turns off in the middle of the fuck. It just like
in front of us.
it just stops, and we're like, okay, we know what's going on now. And so like Brian's looking back at us like, well, she's gonna say something, and this girl just like leans forward, and she's like, hi, yeah, there's no wading in the pool, and then in the lake. There's no wading here, so if you could just, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was my bad. Blah blah. And she's like, it's okay. Like just please, just get out. Just, She's like being nice about it.
I was kind of
Really
relieved
sweet,
because
yeah.
I was like, because there's no alcohol involved.
yeah.
We
Fucked
had
up.
thought there was no
We-
smoking allowed. So I was more concerned about.
the worst rule we broke.
I was more concerned about us getting caught like doing something like bad, like
Yeah,
getting
that's
kicked
exactly.
out or a ticket or something, and then that she said like
She
just
just
get
said
back on
that.
the shore. It was like how she said she came out pretty timid. How she said that, we're like, yes, we can continue doing the stupid shit we're not supposed to be doing.
How you doing?
What scared me was that blonde chick that came after. And
Yeah.
shortly
So what
after,
happened was, so after he was told to like get off, or to get out, he gets out of the water, and the like boat takes off and leaves. And we're like, cool, we're in the clear again. And then this girl shows up, this young girl, a blonde girl, and she walks over, and like Brian sees her and looks over, and he's like making sure that she doesn't come to us because we had stuff on us that you're not supposed to have.
Playing fullback, kind of.
Right. So he decides I'm gonna go to her so
I
she
saw the
doesn't come to us.
opportunity.
And he's like, hey, that was my fault. It was my bad. It was me. Like letting her know like I fucked up. And she's like, it's okay. You're not in trouble or anything. Don't worry. And we were like, oh, okay. Why the fuck did you come over here? And so she was a young, attractive girl. So she's talking to Brian, and then Brian just started spitting game at her, and we were like, oh, all right. And we all like turn around. Like
the best thing is that we could hear
We could hear
everything you were
everything, yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
and you don't know. I don't know if you knew this, but like every one of your lines are like.
Yeah, we laughed. hard.
I was trying to be.
Oh, you want to tie me up?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that's what he was saying.
She said something about like, next time that you go out there, I want to tie you up and blah blah blah. And you were like, oh, so you want to tie me up? Oh, all right then.
I was all horn
It's like
dog.
that. And
I
she's
was
like,
all horn
oh,
dog,
stop it,
Yeah.
silly.
When she was just like, if you keep going out there, I'm gonna have to tie you up. I was like, oh, so you want to tie me up? Is what you're
Oh
saying?
my
And
God.
she was
It
like, no, I
started to
didn't
sound
mean
like
that.
it was going somewhere.
And-
Long
and-
story
and, yeah,
short,
I
dude.
thought it was gonna go somewhere, and then I was just like, yeah. So like, what do you just move out here? She's like, yeah, I just got out here. I was like, oh, we should hang out. She's like, oh, I don't know about that. I just turned 18.
Instant boner kill.
Exactly. Just the fact that she said I just turned. If she would have just said I'm 18, I'd have been like, okay, cool. But
The creepiness would have still been there, but instead it subsided.
yeah, but she just said I just turned, so I was just like, okay, that's a boner kill. Like,
You've
that's
seen
all right.
too many movies, and you're
Yeah.
like, I know how
No,
this goes.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
made Daniel harder when you said she just turned 18.
Yeah, no, it
She
was
said,
bad.
I'm too old for you, little guy.
Yeah.
But my older brother.
Yeah.
All of us, all of us fucking skunked it.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, we caught no fish.
No, but finish
Yeah.
what you were gonna say.
No,
You
there
were
was no
about to
fish.
say something, Brian, and then
Oh
I cut
no,
you off.
it wasn't anything, dude. It wasn't anything. It was just the fact that
It was really funny because a bunch of dudes.
in my head, I was just like, do I keep talking or do I stop? And I was just like,
long story
so
short.
we should hang out still.
Yeah.
So
Long story short, fishing in water, fishing on land, we skunked either way.
It was just funny because it was like he was talking to this girl, and there's just like four of his cousins, or three cousins and a brother, sitting super close, and we're talking shit, and so we were just trying. Like, I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, no, I don't like that whole thing. So I was like, guys, just shut the fuck up. But I mean, I get it. He's a family member. You're gonna fuck with him,
Yeah.
so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I thought it was funny, man.
Good times.
It was funny to see you out in the water because it was like
Yeah.
nobody else in the water. Clearly, it's clearly just you, and.
Because everyone else knows the rules.
Oh,
You
But,
yeah.
but to me,
They-
like,
they
I
even-
thought the fact that the girl came out said something. Like, why would she come over and tell you? She didn't need to say anything. You knew you weren't supposed to be in there. That's why I thought, like, hey, you know what? Of course he's flirting with her, man. Like, this. Why would she come talk to us? I thought maybe she was like, hey, hot dude, tight pants. You know what I mean? I'm in.
Alright. Yeah, small bulge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's non-threatening. It's small. I get it.
He's very approachable.
It's
Very
not going to
approachable.
hurt me. Not going to hurt me.
Mm-mm.
There's a dude with some abs in the water. You want to go check that out?
Yeah. I don't-
The walk back was so shitty, though, man. I remember, like,
super hot.
because it
bro.
was like 100 degrees or something, and that the hike there wasn't that big of a deal because we're all like up and we're
Pumped.
ready, we're excited for fun, and we're carrying shit. And then the walk back, you're like, okay, we're gonna eat some stuff, we're gonna get rid of some liquids, and so it's probably gonna be lighter. But it was hotter, and fuck, man. By the time we got back to the cars, I was covered in sweat.
Yeah, you forget how much the sun like drains every ounce of energy. Even if we're like not directly in the sun, like
Yeah.
the reflection of the water and all that shit.
Was
like,
David even awake?
I was gonna say
David was
my cousin
nap.
David is not here
Several
right now,
naps.
but he was at the thing, and he worked like overnight, got out at 1:30, then went to his parents' house in Whittier, and like
Didn't
showered
sleep.
and changed, and kind of hung out for I guess like 20 minutes, and then came over here, right?
Came over here and
Which
there was
is
a
Mando's
UFC.
house.
UFC started at 3 in the
It
morning.
was
right?
the UFC
Oh, yeah.
Shenzhen or whatever in
China
China.
one.
And so he
we-
watched the fight. He stayed up the whole time. Then he's like, "It'll be fine. I'll catch a second wind when we're over there, when we're out in the water." And we got there, and he sat down, and he was good for like maybe 20 minutes. And then his arms crossed, and once the arms are crossed, it's over, man. He fucking knocked out. He was asleep, and
It was a combination of all of the above. He had worked before, but then we had gotten there and taken remember the cupcakes? We each had a little cupcake.
oh yeah,
and,
special cupcakes.
and a little of other
Special.
stuff, and then the alcohol, and then
Dude.
and he didn't even cast a rod. Like I had to,
No,
I had
he
taken-
just showed up and took a
I
nap.
had taken enough rods for everybody, plus like one or two extra rods in
Thank-
case we wanted to switch it up or do something different. He didn't even cast; just fell asleep. He was like he's having a good time hanging out with us, you know.
Thank God you guys were here. I didn't want to sleep alone
Yeah, right. I didn't want to sleep at home on my bed.
by
I
myself.
do better when there's people around me. He fucking slept pretty much. Yeah, most of like I would say 2/3 of the time he was knocked out, and we felt bad because he was just like tired.
He woke up for a good hike back to the.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine being like asleep and then you wake up and you get that.
Wake up and you gotta go walk somewhere.
MFer, you know what I'm saying? So we just finished watching the UFC 242, which was headlined by Dustin Poirier versus Habib Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
What'd I say?
Nurmagomedov.
Oh,
or something.
Nurmagomedov.
You
I don't
shortened
know,
it.
whatever he
That's
does, he Nurmagomedovs.
Listen, I don't have time to give full, Dagestani names, okay? If it's not American, it ain't nothing, brother.
Yeah, if you
I'm
don't
just
know
kidding.
what I'm
just
talking
kidding.
about, you don't watch UFC.
Shit, homie. And I gotta say I'm heartbroken for fucking Diamond, the Diamond, Dustin Poirier, man. I thought he was gonna win this fight. I told people he's gonna win it. He's gonna surprise people. He's gonna lay those hammers, land those hands, brother. Didn't do any of it.
He connected once and had him in trouble for like a little flurry, but that was about it. It wasn't.
Just
a whole
didn't
lot
drop
of
the
damage.
hammers.
About 30 seconds. He was scared. He was backing off.
But the
Backing
rest of the
off?
fight, the rest of the
Backing
fight
I was waiting for him to do like a jack off joke. I was like waiting for it.
No. I'm being straight with you, brother.
Take a shot. Let's not be straight.
No, not straight at all.
Let's kiss
Totally-
mouths.
Speaking
totally
of shots, dude, where they all at?
You want a shot? Go set it up.
Anything else you'd like to do while we're on our U8? You want to take some shots?
I'll
Hey,
get.
You came in for the
yeah.
food and the booze?
I'll get the tequila.
Food,
Lancelot,
food.
you want some ice? Give me your glass.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Oh,
You guys are listening to the CousinCast.
Mando stepping away, being a good host. This is your house, after all.
I want to ask you, Daniel, because
Yes.
you're in a similar situation to me.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean in
No,
a good
no.
way. We both are stepdads technically.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're the same age. They're fucking 8. I
Yeah.
didn't know that until last week when we hung out. That's pretty
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
man. Because it's like, it's this weird thing where like I feel like my situation is very like different, and everyone's always like, "Fuck, man, that's crazy," because like he's an 8-year-old and his father's not involved.
That's
and
that's
then,
where we're the
and
same
Rocio
page,
was
too.
young, and then like.
Yeah, how old was Rocio?
Rocio was 24 when she had him.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
And so, thank you, brother. So I thought that was interesting because you had like the exact like the fact that he's 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
dude.
oh shit. And the funny little stories about like the things he says when, like at night when he's trying to get you to like play video game or let him play
dude.
video games longer. Like,
Oh,
what was
dude.
it? What you were telling me?
Oh, dude.
That he, like, what's the thing that he
best
says
story,
where he's
dude.
like-
I tried to be an enforcer of sorts because his mom's very lenient because she feels bad for him, you know?
Right.
You can't feel bad for him. He's
Punch
still a
that
child.
motherfucker in
Yeah,
the
he's still a
throat.
child, dude. He's got to grow. He's got to have so. I
Well, you
came
gotta.
in-
The thing is to let her do that, and
I
you be
tried.
the one.
You
that's,
know what? I
that's the
tried. She
son.
just doesn't have that bone in her body, and so he very much knows that I do love and I do respect him, and I never would lay a hand on him. But he does have that respect factor back, where he won't cross me, man. It doesn't
That's
take
cool.
much. Not even raise my voice too loud. It's just like, hey, dude, what are you doing? All of a sudden, it's like, dude, the answer he gives his mom is totally different from the answer he'll give me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm finishing, I swear. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. that's
Oh
what I
shit!
thought.
It's my dad. Okay.
Yeah.
How am I gonna word this?
Yeah, so,
Hey,
so
listen,
that's
sorry
what
about
happened. I started to try to enforce some structure in the household, and I'm like, all right, dude, I bought you a PS4. I got him that for his birthday. I said, hey, dude, I bought you a PS4. It's for you. But during school weeks, dude, no games past 9 o'clock. Dude, 9 o'clock, you shut it off, you go
Damn,
to bed.
you're nice, man. Dom
Yeah, I
Canyon
am
touches.
nice. I am nice. But you know what, dude? He does an after-school program. He doesn't get to start doing his homework till about 7 o'clock after
Oh,
dinner.
okay.
So I give him that little bit of time to play. So, yeah, I remember the first time I had him shut it down. I'm like, hey, bro, it's like 9:15, man. And he's on the headset with his buddy. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, no, guys, it's okay. That was just my dad. God, that hit home. I was like, oh, you know what,
Damn,
dude?
that feels
10:30
good.
you got today to 10:30,
All right, you got
bro.
an extra 15 minutes added.
Dad, are you crying? No. My contacts are.
Okay.
You don't wear contacts. You don't know my life, dude.
So, yeah, dude.
I'm not crying. You know what? Play another hour while I fix this contact. It's really bothering me.
I mean,
You do the little like to self fist pump. You're like,
Yes, I'm in. I think that means I'm in.
he loves me.
No, he definitely does, you know, and it's hard, you know, because he'll ask. He knows the difference. He's old enough to know, you know, he has his real dad, and he has, you know, this guy who's just filling in because his mom wants to bang. bro.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I have like the opposite thing.
I'm just kidding.
Like
guys, I'm
Dominic
just kidding.
calls me
Goes
his
from
dad,
sensitive
and he
to-
refers to the other guy as his father. Because I've explained to him like the
Donor.
difference. Because he's like,
Donor.
pretty much, yeah. And he like when Dom and I talk about it, he's like, so like he was like, I don't want to say other dad all the time, and he was like all confused
Yeah.
about what to do. And I'm like, well, you don't have another dad. I'm your dad. Your dad isn't the guy who
Yes.
whose
A lot of
whose
weight behind the
sperm
word.
makes you. Like your dad is the one who raises you. Your dad is the guy who's there for you, and
Yeah.
that's not him. And I didn't
Exactly.
say that to him, the whole there for you part, because I don't want him to feel inadequate or in any
Yeah,
way. Like
exactly.
he didn't want you because you're bad or something. So I just say, no, your dad is the guy who's here all the time. Your dad is the guy who lives with you. And he's like, oh, okay. So what about my other dad? I'm like, well, you call him your father. He's your father. That's what he is, you know. And he's like, oh, okay, because he was always asking me like, what do I call you? What do I call him?
It's a good way to differentiate.
And I was like, it's pretty simple, because he didn't ever see his father. So I was like, okay, he's your father.
It makes it easy.
And like, that's to me, that's the difference. The father is the blood relative. The dad is the one who raises you. And there's plenty of people that have like a stepdad that they refer to as their dad.
Yeah.
They say that's dad. So to me, it just makes sense. Like your dad isn't. You don't have to be. Like, it's easy to be a father. A dad's different. A dad, you actually have to put in the work. The father part's easy. It's not hard to come inside somebody. Trust me, it's pretty good.
I've had my scares, man.
Well, yeah, and so that's why I like bringing it up, because it's always interesting talking to someone else who understands that, because that world is so different to people who don't understand it. And there's not that anyone's better or worse. It's just different. It's like a whole other world where you can't exactly, like you have to understand the borderline with everything. You have to know where the boundaries are, because you're like, what, yeah, for me especially, because his father's not involved, I have to understand that he's not aware of what a dad is. Exactly. He doesn't even because I get upset. How come you don't understand? Well, because he doesn't understand. He never had a fucking dad. He had some guy who would see every other weekend, who would make him be the babysitter to the other two kids. That's while he cut hair. He wasn't his dad. Man. He just was like, okay, I'm fulfilling my guilt for a little bit, and that ran out is what happened. So I love your dance over here, dude. Brian's getting down.
He took a shot while you were talking there. He took
hands up.
How do you feel about the shot? Tell everyone.
Strong.
Very strong.
And you don't drink that much tequila?
We are very similar.
I'm more of a whiskey drinker.
You want to drink a little bit of this?
We are very similar.
Just tequila.
We are very similar because we both have the 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
But Brian was in the same boat as well.
He was an 8-year-old once?
No, his
my stepdaughter
is
going to be 11 in October. But
that's right, from your
marriage, it's like you guys are saying, being a step parent, you guys are fortunate enough, you guys still see your kids and all that. Unfortunately for me, my kids live in Washington, but I still talk to my stepdaughter, next one, but my stepdaughter, she still texts me every day, but she doesn't really know her dad. But she knows me as dad, so we text each other.
That's the way it carries.
So exactly, so that's the thing. Anybody could be a father. It just takes somebody special to be a dad, because it's showing them, pretty much raising them. Not like you said, you're raising them. You're not just
You put in the work and the time,
exactly.
and you actually, because my thing is, I look at Dominic like I don't look at him as a stepson anymore. We stopped the stepson stepdad thing probably like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make sense. He's my kid.
He's your kid.
He's my son, and I'm his dad, and he tells everyone that's my dad, and he's into all the same shit.
I would say that too. You're so badass, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. I'm like a 9 out of 10, basically. The only thing missing, the teeth. That's about it. If I had good teeth, I'd be a 10.
If I had hair, I'm pretty sure I'd be a 10 out of 10.
Whose scale? Yours, little guy?
See the little jokes. See, big brother bullying, you motherfucker. I'm the big brother too, though. I have 2 little brothers.
So you know where I'm coming from.
I understand. You got to fuck with them a little bit. I get it.
Keep him on edge, bro.
My little brother gets way more mad than yours does, though.
Dude, Brian got me mad because he scared me the other day, dude. I thought he died, dude.
Why? How? What happened?
He played a prank on me, dude, so I thought he died.
Oh, really? You bug him all the whole time you're around him, you're fucking with him, and he pulled the prank on you, and you're like, you son of a bitch. Was it because of the dying thing?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, that's different.
Dude,
you're like, you son of a bitch, you almost died.
I legit was like, all right, Brian, that was a good one, dude. You passed out, get up, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
what happened?
I tapped him on the ball sack hard.
Start from the beginning.
No, fuck no. He didn't.
Start from the beginning. What happened?
All right, so we're drinking. We're
of course.
Putting him back.
Told you guys.
Brian, we start slamming beers, and Brian starts doing these shots with me, and then he just kind of like passes out, like lays out on the floor right there.
What day was this?
This was a couple, like last week, no?
Last weekend.
Oh, dude.
Last Monday.
Yeah. So your days get mixed up when you're off.
So you guys were at like your place?
Mikey's.
Mike. Okay, our cousin Mikey.
Mikey. So we're at Mikey's. Brian passes out, and I'm like, all right, good one, dude, because I'm pressuring him to drink and keep up with me, dude. And I'm like, all right, good one. And I'm like, dude, get up. He didn't move. So I started laughing, like, all right, good one, guy. So I hit him in the nuts.
He didn't move?
Didn't move.
You know what it is?
He did not budge.
It's from years of you hitting him in the nuts. He grew
probably.
like a mental callus on his balls. They've turned into stone, and they're not worried about your hand anymore.
Oh, dude, when he didn't flinch, bro, my heart dropped. Dude, I was like, dude, cut it out. So I got in his face, and I was like, Brian, I grabbed it, and he started laughing. Dude, I immediately started pounding the shit out of him, dude. I mean, I was.
You punched him?
Oh, hard, like haymakers.
In the face?
Dude. No, in the body.
I was
I've never hit him
what
in
a
the
piece
face.
of shit.
I think I've only hit Brian in the face one time, dude. And just the look on his face from me hitting him, dude, I was like, dude, I'll never do that again, dude.
It fucked you up a little bit?
Oh, dude, it hurt, dude. I was
I never hit Matt or Cam in the face, but Matt punched me in the face probably 3 or 4
brothers
times.
do that shit,
yeah, and
dude.
it's understandable because Matt was much smaller than me.
And you probably deserved it.
No, I bet you I did.
love how you said what?
That was a joke. That was a joke.
Well, I'm trying not to be a dick. He's an adult now. I'm not that much bigger than him though. If you look at him, he's filled out. He's got some chunk on him.
He has filled out.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not even that much tall. I'm maybe 3 inches taller than him or something like that. But it's not even about that. But when we were kids, there was a couple times where I remember one time specifically. And again, we were children, so I'm not trying to say he can't fight. I've seen him fight, and he can hang for a little guy. And I don't mean that in a mad way. Like Matt's a scrappy dude.
Yeah.
But I remember we were little kids, and we were at we lived in La Habra, and I guess we were just talking shit. And he punched me in the face as hard as he could. And I remember, like, it clipped me in the jaw, like, it hit me. And I just stared at him like, oh, you're fucking dead. And he looked at me like, you're supposed to go down. Like, what happened? This didn't work out the way I planned it. And he just ran upstairs into my parents' room and, hid in there. But he was probably, like 9 or 10 or something. So it's understandable. That's why, that's how I remember that going down. But there was he did knock my tooth out when I was 5. I think he was 3. This is a pretty good story because Matt's always been scrappy, and he's just always had to be because he's smaller than everyone, and people talk shit, and when you have a little chip on your shoulder. Dude, my co-host Sven, same kind of thing. Sven's a really short guy, so I totally get it. I get it makes sense. But we were little kids, and I don't remember who got us these. We got like a helmet and shoulder pads and like a jersey. It was like I got Niners and he got Redskins. Matt's had like 9 different favorite NFL teams, but his first one that I remember was Redskins, and he was wearing we were both wearing the helmets, and I think we were kind of like playing around, and then we took the helmets off or something happened, and we were like kind of jokingly fighting, and he punched me in the head, and my tooth came out because it was loose. And he put his hands up like he was just, like, God, like, fuck yeah. I did that, That was legit, though. He knocked my tooth out. That's 100% true. But, yeah, so that fishing trip happened, and I haven't been around you and Brian that much, Daniel. I've been around Mando doing the show and here and there, but, I was crying, laughing, because... because it's like, most people are going to understand this. When you're with your family, like your cousins, the people around your age, like there's sort of no limits, and especially with booze and all that other stuff. We weren't around.
And there's no PC. There's
right. So
PC.
We're just all cracking stupid jokes and talking shit. And man, I cried for a good 30 minutes while we were there, like off and on.
Not every joke hits, dude, but
no.
Like herpes, dude. We'll just keep coming.
All of you, but that's because Daniel kept firing away all them fucking fishing puns. It was like after like
throw some of them out. Let's hear them.
Like we were just what is that? That was a fishing trip with an all-male cast.
But it's like what he was doing was he was rolling these off one after the other for like
we were just keeping
5
it real.
minutes straight. Oh my God.
Brian was like, that joke didn't catch.
Yeah.
We were like,
Did you do another one just for the hell of it? Like it was good stuff, dude. It was good stuff.
Brian, can you shut up, dude? You talk too much. We're trying to have a conversation.
I'm sorry, dude.
And all I hear is
I'm trying to tell you a joke,
I'm
but you
trying to
wouldn't
stay
take my
alive,
bait.
dude. I'm trying to stay alive.
Don't die.
I'm not gonna die.
Are you gonna fake a death again, like you did when you got soccer?
Okay, for
My
you
dad
guys,
knows CPR.
I'm just gonna bring up a totally different topic, staying off fishing right here. Have any of you guys, or when was the last time any of you guys ever played a fucking wingman for somebody that you went to hang out with?
Oh Jesus! For me, super long time.
So,
I you know what? I did it a lot more in high school and like before 26. Like
okay, but have you ever had to play wingman for one that you were just like,
it hurt?
Fuck, I don't want to, but for my boy.
See, when you say wingman,
does that mean
did
take one for the
you?
team
I was
or
gonna say because
something?
there's two different things going on.
When did you
Hold
take one for the
on.
team?
There's two different types of wingmen to me, and I'm gonna make my definition. You guys don't have to agree. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But there's two types. One, take one for the team. We all know what that means. That means you're going to downtown Pound Town with someone that might or might not be 60 pounds heavier than you.
Might not be a guy.
The other type is what I call, what me and my friends used to call playing interference, which means just keep them company, talk to them, bring them over away, keep them interested in a conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to end up in sex, but you at least keep their attention while your friend is going to downtown Pound Town.
See, this is the hard part, dude. We didn't have a dad growing up, so Those are two in the same, dude. I mean, you don't put in all that work to keep them
What is
occupied and
what
not
is the not
finished,
have a
dude.
dad thing? I don't get it. What do you mean?
No one showed us the ropes,
Dude,
bro.
my dad didn't teach me anything either. My dad yelled
Yeah,
at me and said, "You're pulling with a push broom, you fucking
No,
idiot."
no.
That was what my dad did.
Yeah, but
My
we're,
thing
just,
is,
we're not
no.
quitters, bro.
Like,
Okay,
we're
all
not
right.
quitters.
I was like, my dad didn't teach me shit about
If,
being
if
a
I'm
man.
putting in all that effort to keep you occupied, like later on at night, you're keeping me occupied.
Gotcha,
I don't even
okay.
care.
No, like I said, that was just my definition. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. I just wanted to see which kind it was.
I like how you broke it down, and I understood exactly what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, that is two definitions. At the same time, I'm like, well,
We don't
call
do
it
that,
right?
both.
You're
I
like,
call
we
it
don't-
both.
Okay.
We don't do that.
Okay, so
No, we fuck. Us dudes, we fuck.
Yeah, we fuck.
Is that what you mean?
The Romeros. Yeah.
Romeros are
we fuck.
fuckers.
Yeah, we're fucking.
Dude, I've been that guy to just like try to get a kiss in the morning. I'm like, oh, you know, it's time, dude. Like I gotta go to work or something. Like something's coming.
I gotta
up.
wash
Damn,
my
you
hair.
You let him stay the night? Ew.
Half the ones were slots, bro. I couldn't wake them up, dude. It's like,
Oh, my god.
couldn't even roll her off my sheets, bro.
Oh, no. I just want to say, if you're 60 pounds heavier, then
Yeah.
it's okay. I didn't mean that in a bad. I said that earlier. I feel bad.
You have a nice personality.
You're nice.
I
You're
like
nice.
personalities.
See,
You try
Brian,
harder.
Brian would bring those home, and I'd be like, I know what you did there.
Oh, I know what you did.
Son of a. You guys had a pretty like. When you guys both still live with your mom, it was like you guys could have girls over and stuff, right? Like your
Oh,
mom,
dude. Well,
Oh,
we ended
constantly.
up in high school.
I was gonna say it wasn't like a thing because there was no way I could ever have a girl over.
Oh,
in
dude.
my high school.
We so like I said, it was just my mom for a lot of the time, and then our stepdad, which is a super cool guy, but he it was just my mom for the most of the time, and we broke that
Rule?
wall down with her like quick, dude. Like any strict rules she tried to have, we'd break.
See, you guys were the middle ones too, so like the
Yeah.
older ones probably got more trouble for stuff.
Well, they
and
were-
then they're like, dude, what are we gonna do?
But
Like,
they went down the wrong path too, man. They're super cholo.
no,
They're
I know
like
that, but I'm
dogs.
just saying that your mom probably already saw that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and she's like, dude, okay, just don't break anything and
But
don't
even then,
come
like-
inside them.
like the stuff we did was like wasn't
just
even
sexual,
bad.
like
Yeah,
girls,
dude,
right? Like
yeah.
typical high school.
And we even turned the garage into a bedroom, dude. Like we no one parked in there, so we turned that into a bedroom. We're like, hey, dude, it's me and you. This is the smush room, bro. Like,
Ooh,
that's it.
exactly.
That's
you guys used a line from Jersey
The
Shore.
Jersey
How
Shore.
horrible!
Yeah.
But anyway, I
Before
understand.
Jersey.
But
Sure.
we did, dude. And I'd be like looking at Brian, making eye contact, and we're both sweating.
Oh, that's just weird. You guys boned in the same room at the same time and looked at each other.
You haven't?
Damn,
Are
you guys
you-
are
are
close.
you-
Are you
really-
sock rule?
Are you really brothers?
What's that from?
nothing. We just say.
Oh, is that that's your guys'
Yeah.
creepy tagline? You know us Ramirez brothers. It
Romero,
ain't. What is
Romero.
oh, sorry, Ramiro. Sorry, you're Ramirez. Sorry, Ramiro brothers. Fuck that. Yeah, Mando's like, don't use my name,
yeah,
asshole.
yeah,
We thought we never
they-
did that. We
they
never
watch
did
that name.
No, we even
That
we
name
even
is
gestured
sacred.
to like.
You want to switch?
You
No?
want to know about real life? Us Romero brothers always say.
Two in the pink,
Say it,
5
say it.
teen in the stink.
I don't know what do we say, Brian.
I don't
I'll look you in the eye. And
Yeah.
Right. Hey,
If we
tag
can-
me in. Tag
are
me
you
in.
really brothers?
If we can't make eye contact while we fuck, are we really
Well, we
brothers?
fugs in.
Fugs
Yeah,
in?
no,
I don't
that's-
know, dude. It was
It's
pretty
pretty
bad
bad,
though,
yeah.
dude. Even when it's like, Brian did some crazy shit, dude. That's all I'm gonna leave.
What does that mean?
Brian did?
No,
I don't.
I would think you're the crazier one.
No, I definitely am, but there was still like a respect factor to where like I didn't want my mom to know certain things about me. This guy was dating
Like
a
about
girl.
your tramp stamp?
Yeah, well, I mean, no one knows about that one thing.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
He's dating girl what?
Kind of.
Yeah, tell that story you're about
No,
to
so Brian was dating this girl and like, yeah, I mean,
Brian's into girls?
No, so right?
Whoa, cool, man.
Yeah.
When did that
Full
happen?
full blown wake up in the morning, use the bathroom. I'd come out and Brian's right there in the living room naked with this girl, and I'm
First
Look at
name
you.
Caitlin.
Yeah,
First name Caitlin. Last
The
name
old,
Jenner.
No.
the old sailor you.
like, you know what I'm talking about,
Who?
Kristen.
Oh yeah.
Why you
that's
gotta say
got-
the name?
Dude, he doesn't care.
Okay.
So, dude, they would just wake up at wherever they woke up in the house, and it was just like, oh hey, good morning.
This is butt naked?
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
Like your mom would see you naked?
Yeah.
Your mom would see your girl naked.
that is complete savage mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
There was a couple. I was 18 actually.
Oh
Like,
my
just turned
God.
18. This chick,
18's a good age.
no, this chick was 21 at the time, dude. And I remember like the first night I
Oh.
even brought her. The first night I even hung out with her, like at like period. I hung out with her, And I was like, oh, you should come hang out at my house. She was like, all right.
Should
So we hung
stand
out,
up
dude.
69
Next
while
thing you
my
know,
mom
dude, I was in the
cleans
living room.
up.
I was in the living room. This is when Grandma was still alive. When Grandma was still alive, I was just like, fuck, dude, what if my grandma comes out? But at the same time, I'm like, dude, this bitch is too hot not to fucking take advantage of the time.
Why she gotta be a bitch though,
Sorry,
man?
like, I don't know. Sorry,
She's a
yeah, you're
beautiful
right.
goddess,
No,
and
yeah.
you
Were
know
you
it.
hoping
She
for
was,
grandma's
dude.
breakfast,
Sorry,
panqueques
I
con
apologize.
huevos? While you getting
No,
head?
I'm just kidding. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, and we only got those when company was over, so it was a good call, Brian. Good
Panqueques
call.
con huevos.
She had to show
While
off.
you get a dome.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She was even mad that they woke up naked. She's like, Mijo, you didn't tell me you were going to have company.
Oh wait,
What
so
the
you,
fuck?"
so your grandma, even your grandma saw like your naked dates?
No.
Ooh, you want to hear an interesting living with your grandma joke, dude?
Yes.
Okay, so Brian used to share a room with my grandma when we were kids, dude.
How old?
Well, one day, no, Brian was like 8, 9 years old, dude. Brian woke up thirsty as fuck one day, dude. I don't know from what, right? My grandma used to keep her dentures in water, dude, next to the bed, nightstand. Brian woke up so thirsty, he grabbed that cup of water and slammed it, took it to the head, dude. And my grandma came back into the room and was like, what'd you do with this water? He's like, I was thirsty. And my grandma just died of laughter. It was like, dude, that's for my teeth.
Pretty nasty.
That-
Yeah,
I heard that leads to hair loss.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
drank some
I'm
of grandma's
wrong.
water too, but
both Brian and Daniel have their heads shaved, but Brian maintains it.
And Daniel's by choice.
Yeah, Daniel by choice. Brian out of necessity.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I have a story. Okay, I guess a similar story, but mine's not about denture water. It's about fucking
God.
chew spit.
Oh, God. that's
man,
the
when I was in
worst.
college, my best friend was this dude named Drew. Shout out Drew Growthwaite, you sexy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's this white dude who was 4 years older than me, big fat cowboy looking dude from the Bay. So he liked Bay music, like he was
Yeah.
back in the hyphy days.
Yes.
But he also was very country. His mom was from Fresno, and they just lived like the ranch life. So
Hell yeah.
he would wear like a cowboy hat and shit, and everyone just fucking loved that dude. But we were hanging out. Oh shit! I'm watching. I shouldn't be watching that. We were hanging out at a bowling alley because every Tuesday, this was when I was in a fraternity in college, and every Tuesday, a bunch of people would go to. It was like dollar beer night at a bowling alley. So we would go there because we were a bunch of broke ass college students.
Wait, Fresno State?
No, I was in Northridge. His
Northridge.
mom was from Fresno. So we were north. It's in the valley. Northridge is a city in the valley. So I lived over there when I turned 18. What are you guys doing? Taking shots?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no. Because the reason I asked is because
Well,
I've
he was
worked
saying
I've
Northridge
worked
in the
up
valley,
north
but-
before, and I don't remember where I worked, but where we were working, they put us up in a hotel because we were there for
I'm good.
for about a solid,
I thought we were gonna drink. Or we were gonna take a.
for a
He was
solid
pouring a shot.
for a
though.
solid month. We were put up there, so they got us a hotel room. But we were right next to this bowling alley where they would shuttle college students in, and they would do every Wednesday night of the week like $1 beer night.
Okay,
or
yeah,
something.
we weren't shuttled in, and it was a Tuesday, but it was probably the same kind of thing because
Oh,
it was
dude.
dollar beer night, and I was 18, but my buddy was 4 years older than me, so he was 22.
Oh,
So the
great.
whole deal is you just give him cash, he buys
Right,
it, brings it over. He has 3 little plastic cups, and we just slam these plastic cups. So this night, and I've told the story on the podcast before, but whatever. This night,
It's new to me, bud.
it's fun. It's all right. So this night, and this was like in my youth, and not anymore. I am committed to my gorgeous, beautiful queen and my son. But in my youth, I was a bit of a rascal with the ladies, and yeah. So there was this one night where we were out, and there was this girl that I wasn't dating, but we were kind of like hooking up, and you know that like young kind of like. Like when you're around each other, it's real physical, but you're not gonna make her your girlfriend, and she's not gonna make you the boyfriend, and you have this like thing in public where you're like hanging out. I don't know, maybe you guys don't. I mean, Mando, you were in the fraternity world, so it's to me it's like I guess a fraternity thing where like there are girls that hang out, and when they like you, they can't fully like commit because there's like this young person thing where you keep them on the edge, but I don't know. Anyway. I didn't really want to fully commit to this girl, so we were kind of dating, but not really. We weren't dating; we were just hooking up.
Okay.
And this other girl, I guess, was there that I was into as well. So I made out with one girl, and then she left, and the other girl that I was sort of talking to. Okay, we're gonna cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Fuck, man.
Cheers to cousin.
I just took one.
Cousin
Cheers.
Cat.
You guys are crazy. Sorry,
Thanks
guys.
for having me on, last
Yeah,
time.
No
thank you,
problem.
Ledge.
By the way, if you're listening to this and you're expecting anything like life changing. We're just having a good time. So
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna keep. We're gonna keep taking shots.
You understand? We don't really care. If
That's
you
true.
think you're funny. We're
That's
just
true.
here
We're
to
a bunch
hang
of
out,
cousins having a good
and
time.
We happen to be recording ourselves.
CousinCast. We're gonna do this a few more times with different cousins
But if
because I don't fucking like you
If
guys.
you do find me funny, Daniel Roger Romero, one word, Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Find me.
What's your Brian's is Brian
I see what
BRIAN _DUH _BOY.
Which
No,
I
DOY.
I
Oh,
don't
it's-
No, that boy, the doy.
Oh,
The
okay,
doy.
my bad.
The reason behind that, a lot of people ask, actually,
Well,
is
'cause you're-
because
No
my
one-
daughter.
you're just
my,
kidding.
No, my daughter, before she started calling me daddy, she used to say the doy. So
Oh,
it
okay.
Kinda, you know, just
I get it,
went
Brian.
on.
I was gonna ask you what I thought it said boy. I thought you were a dub boy. I
No,
was like,
no.
okay,
Oh.
The doy.
that makes sense.
if that was the case, dude, he'd be Brian Mass.
That's well, you
Yeah.
could still be. You don't have to
Mm.
stop that from being
Get
the
it?
case.
A thing? Is that a thing?
Is that it?
Trending. Your Twitter trending now, bud.
All right, so back to the story.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't be sorry. We're having a good time. But I made out with one girl. She left, and then the other girl was the girl that I was kind of. We weren't like dating, but when we were near each other,
Closer
it was
to.
like this like
We were licking each other's nipples.
Yeah.
thing, right? So we're like, her and I are around each other. Yeah, dude, I growl. That's what I do.
I love
Ask
it.
Rocio when I growl at her.
love
I
it.
just
I love
growl
it.
at her.
Bite the back of her neck.
Maybe, yeah. At least a couple times a day. Very attracted to her. No, but so
Hey,
So,
what are you pitching over there? What are you pitching?
tense. I'm making out with the girl, and I'm feeling like a boss at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
18. I mean, out with two different girls in the same place. I'm with my fraternity brothers.
And
They're
they
all
saw-
they're all
they
looking.
saw it all go
they're all
down.
looking at me going, "That son of a bitch." And like back then, I was known as being like the ladies guy. Like that was my contribution. Was like if I could talk to girls. So if we needed
Yes.
girls to hang out, they would send me out the mouthpiece, and I would talk to people and be like,
There
"Come
you
on
go.
over here. Like come hang out with my friends." And so that was the whole thing. So that's what was going on, and so I walked back all cock of the walk, thinking I'm the shit, right? I think I'm just the dopest dude ever. And I come back to my buddies, and they're like, "Look at you, you little fuck," you know,
Yeah.
because they're older than me.
You're
Most
the
of the guys I
boss,
hung out
bro.
with were older than me.
Yeah, that was
So
me
they-
for a good minute. too.
So we're over there with these little plastic cups that I told you about, and there was beer in them. Beer's brown, you know.
It's delicious.
It's brown, and I'm all cocky walking over, and I go over, and he's my best friend, so I knew like my point was I was purposely being cocky, and I was gonna grab his beer
And
in
drink
front of
his
him
beer.
and pound it in one drink. That was the whole thing.
Oh god.
So I walk over to him, and he had a cup full of his chew spit because he chewed tobacco. He chewed tobacco.
Yeah.
So there's just a thing of it. I thought it was Newcastle.
Backfire.
It looked like Newcastle.
I could see that though. I could
So I
see
walk
that.
over and I do the whole like, "You see that motherfucker?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And I just grab it and I drink the entire cup of his chew spit in one drink. And then
God, bro.
as soon as like it goes down, I make a face like, "Oh, that's not beer."
Oh no.
And then he looks at me like, "Oh," he starts like laughing, and then he tells everyone immediately what I just did.
Oh.
And everyone starts laughing, and then my big bro, or like the guy that's like your mentor in the fraternity, he comes over to me and he's like, "Dude, I've done this before. You better go throw up." And I was
Make
like,
yourself.
I was like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm pretty sure you're gonna throw up right now." I'm like, "Nah, my stomach's pretty strong, man. I think I could take it." So he like stood around me for like, I don't know, 10 minutes to make sure that I was all right. But I was like waiting for something bad to happen. Nothing happened. So I just swallowed this dude's an entire. It was probably, I don't know, what is that, like 8 ounces?
Oh god.
That size that I'm doing with my hands.
Is that what
Solo
they-
cup?
8 to 10.
A solo
It was
cup?
a short one though. Those clear plastic ones that you
Yeah,
use.
about 8 to 10
So
ounces.
8 to 10 ounces
But-
of another
but the
dude's
full one's 16 and full's a
saliva,
pint.
That's fucking
and I
disgusting.
took it down like a maniac.
They did that.
We
for-
had a
your
thing in-
sorority, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we had a thing in my society, not a fraternity.
sorority.
We had a thing call ourselves a dirty cup. And
Oh.
So,
so
oh no.
you know
That
how you
sounds
have, you know how in yours.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say.
so
Go ahead.
I have a, you know how in your, thing there's Big Brothers and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had this like, it wasn't part of the fraternity. It was like a side club.
You went
within,
to-
it was a group within the group that we
Gotcha.
called ourselves Dirty Cup Kings.
So it's kind of like, okay, you went to Whittier College, which is a private school. This was and the reason it's not a fraternity is because they can't have
'Cause-
fraternities.
well, that-
they can't have a Greek system on campus.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, but they're called societies. I just
Yeah.
want to kind
Oh,
of
that's
clear that
cool.
up for
It's,
people.
it's
I didn't
a
even know that.
It's
Yeah.
a fraternity. It's a local fraternity that most fraternities are
It's
like
not
a
national.
national thing.
Right,
Exactly. They're in most big colleges. Whereas Whittier College is a private school. They were like ixnay on the fraternity's name,
The whole
but
Quaker
they allowed
city.
societies, which is the same shit, but the same shit.
Yeah.
You just don't call it a fraternity.
So, anyways,
That's cool.
in the group that I was in, within the group, we had this little thing that we called ourselves the Dirty Cup Kings, and it started. There was a story behind it. Like, there's a mythology behind like how the Dirty Cup Kings started.
You say mythology, but I know exactly what you mean. I totally do. Because there are these myths.
So it started with one of like Alonso Fuente, who like, you know, I'm 38. He's probably now 48. So he's like 10 years older than me. And it was a post Lancer house party deal where he just woke up with a real bad hangover. You know, the party had been already wrapped up, but there's beer cups, solo cups with like half-drank cups of beer and bullshit, and I'm like all over the backyard and like
real
similar.
quick, he said Lancer. Lancer Society is the name of his society. So if
sorry.
you hear him say Lancer, that's what he's talking about. Sorry,
So
go ahead.
there's like cups, solo cups everywhere with like, you know, bottle caps, beer caps, cigarette butts, you name it, all this shit all over the backyard. And so Alonzo wakes up.
I had a different idea of Dirty Cup, but go ahead.
So that's how it started. Like Alonzo woke up the next day after a party, real fucked up, and just grabbed the first big cup of something and drank like a big cup full of beer and cigarette butts. And all this. So then he was like, okay, I'm gonna start this thing called the Dirty Cup Kings, and in order to be my successor, you have to drink whatever the fuck I make at the next house party. So you can imagine after 10 years, by the time it got to me, it had gotten progressively worse and worse and worse every year.
Fucking disgusting.
When I got initiated in this club, we were camping in Joshua Tree, and they had dumped like, you know, dirt and sand from the cactus bits, needles in there, and fucking food. And supposedly, somebody had peed in it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I drank like half a cup. I drank half a cup and then yacked it up immediately, like because the same thing your big brother told you, like you want to throw up.
Yeah,
like,
he was like he said he had done it before. This guy named Motai, he said that he had done the exact same thing, and it wasn't like at a bowling alley, but he grabbed someone's drink and he's like, dude, I threw up right away. That he needed to, but my stomach was different. My stomach was all stubborn. It was like, nah, we got this, brother. Anyway,
no, so after hearing what they were telling, they were like describing what was in it, like. I was like, okay, I'm going to go make myself throw up. There's a bunch of crazy shit in there. So, yeah, I forced myself to puke. And anyways, we had passed that tradition on for several years after I had graduated. Long story short, we lost our charter at the school for like 5 years. So for 5 years, there wasn't a Lancer Society on Whittier College. When we brought the
I thought you were filming me. I was like, stop.
When we brought the group back to Whittier College, these kids that are nowadays, I hate to use the terminology, they're a little more soft.
Right.
Kids these days are a little softer. They were
and
like,
that's a good thing, to tell you the truth.
well, they're like, what's this? They were like, what's this Dirty Cup Kings thing? Like, I want to be. I'm like, no, you don't want. Like, you know, you don't want to be a part. So to this day, I still have the paddle in my room. Like, I don't want to pass it on to these kids because I don't think they could hang. I don't think they could. I think they would. Yeah. They're not tough enough. Kids aren't tough enough these days. They're little powder proofs.
I'm not. I stopped the whole fraternity thing. Like a lot of my brothers that I like hung out with still. They don't do the fraternity thing anymore because they're off doing other stuff. But they still like every now and then hang out together. I'm probably out of all the guys that hung around at that time, I'm probably the one that doesn't go around anymore. Also, I don't live in the valley, so it's like a whole different thing. A lot of those
it's
guys.
A drive. Yeah, it's a drive.
Yeah.
Too.
So, but. What was I gonna say? I already forgot now.
Making fun of Dirty Cup and your.
Oh yeah, the dirty. What I thought you were gonna talk about with the Dirty Cup was I thought you meant like, because when it was our birthdays, it was like, and this is how I got like the whole. Go ahead, dude. You're gonna take the shot.
I know.
Daniel,
dude,
go
I'm
for it,
just
man. Here, I'll
nervous.
take
nervous,
it.
Bud. Nervous.
Dang. Why are you nervous?
Because this will be my
Eighth what?
shot.
I thought you were nervous about the show. I was like, you're doing a good job, buddy.
No. Not nervous about the show. I like being on air. I'd be naked right now if I could.
I always said that I thought you should have been a comedian in some capacity, whether it's stand-up, movies, whatever. I just feel like you're a really funny guy, but I've never seen you perform anywhere. And I think
I think YouTube. This is how I hop.
Oh,
what is that?
I'm music. I used to be involved.
Good thing we brought it up.
No, so when I was about like 18, 19, I used to be heavily involved in a church. Believe it or not.
I don't, but okay.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, I used to be like a youth leader and mentor up until I was about like 24.
So I love that, by the way, because all the
total
crazy
180,
stories
dude.
you're talking
Yeah,
before.
it contrasts all the stuff.
All the stuff you're talking about at your young age. Oh, but you're saying that you didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, because you gotta remember I was with this chick for like 8 years off and on, but like there's a steady portion of it where like when we were together, I was a saint, dude. I didn't want to do anything wrong.
He would only put one finger in.
Yeah.
Did you meet her through the whole like Christian unit? Was it
Yeah.
Christian or Catholic or what?
Christian. It was a Christian.
Okay. Are you a religious guy now?
I have my beliefs. I just do not practice.
What are your beliefs?
On a higher power. I mean, obviously, I believe there's a God. I believe that there's a way. But I've gone through a cycle with different churches, and like, I mean, there's so many different. You could just say Christian, but there's so many steps to that. Like, there's different
Types
branches of that tree. You know what I mean? To where it's like, I just come to a realization where like it's like I'll believe what I choose to, and as long as I do my due diligence on what I believe, I'm good, dude. I mean, I don't go out causing people harm. I don't go out on my way to, screw people. I make jokes, and if it rubs somebody the wrong way, let me know, dude. I'm not gonna bug you anymore.
Yeah,
but
I have. I'm like, dude, don't. Okay, leave me alone.
Hey, but that videos.
Oh yeah,
dude.
sorry. So YouTube. Go ahead.
So there was I was about like 19 maybe in this video, dude, and it was one Easter. I was part of the staff.
One
dude.
Easter.
I was part of the staff,
Easter
dude.
specifically.
I know.
And I was in charge of like entertainment for a youth group, like between lessons. So they would do like a praise and worship type of deal where they play band and stuff. And then in between that, they do like newsletter stuff, like what's coming up, what's happening, and then like an intermission between the message. They do something kind of relevant to the message, but it'll be like a game, some kind of video. That was my department,
right?
Dude, so, and mind you, I had access to all kinds of media stuff, dude. Like everything, high quality cameras, everything,
lighting, cameras,
everything.
Maybe this Jesus thing is pretty legit. I got all that equipment.
Hey, dude, I tell you, dude.
I believe in myself as God, and that's all I got is this equipment here.
Hey, dude,
I'm fucking around.
Nice equipment.
This is more than I got, dude. I got an Xbox One that whistles when it runs, dude. I mean, no, but so I do this music video because they're like, hey, we need something for Easter message. Like, I mean, we want to get this idea across to the kids that like Easter's not just about candy and like the Easter bunny, but like
Want the message to get across.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what, dude? I got this ridiculous bunny costume, dude. I'll do a rap video, dude. So that song, this is why I'm hot.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
it was
changed-
by what's the guy's name?
I don't know. He's some African American guy.
Oh God.
It's
You're
like
one step away from
it's
David,
Like two.
bro.
It's like two names.
Is
I
it
think.
true? It's true. It's too short. Or
I don't
too
have
little.
you guys
Little
wanna look
something.
it
It's
up?
either
We're
too
gonna have to.
something or
Anyway,
little
it's-
something.
we gotta give the credit, dude.
It's either too
Hey,
something
Brian's
or
back.
little
How's
something.
it going? Who did This Is Why I'm Hot? Who's that
That was
artist?
Daniel. I
No,
know.
who's the artist? Who's the artist?
The original
Oh,
song.
that was was it Soldier Boy?
No,
Soulja
it
Boy?
wasn't Soldier Boy.
An American rapper. His name's Mims.
Oh, okay.
Mims.
I knew something with an
Mims,
M.
That's right. Mims.
So
This is
I just
why
changed
I'm
the
hot.
lyrics to "This is why I hop." So I did this elaborate music video that's still on
Like
YouTube.
I
by
Space
the way.
Hop or like the restaurant IHOP?
Like this is why I
I
space hop. Like the
Okay.
reason I
Okay.
hop. And I did
Gotcha.
it as a rapping Easter bunny.
Got it. Okay.
So
Trying to explain Easter to the children.
yeah, if you want to look it up, it's under, I think, This Is Why I Hop, and then you got to put Underground Youth version.
I would
is-
love to look it up now.
It's
Oh, God,
it's
here, dude.
hilarious
I'll look
because
it
I
up.
know it's family.
But
But I will tell you, the production value is second to none. Production value, and my cousin is funny as fuck on it. Let me tell you. I mean, it's got the spiritual message behind it, but if you just kind of like watch it, just even like good humored about it, like not, you don't need to be Mr. Hardcore Christian, but it's funny. It's a great video, good quality, and it made me piss myself when I knew, because I knew.
Oh my
It
god.
was retarded.
Is it Underground version? Is that it? Underground Youth TV?
Underground Youth. Oh, the first one, the very first
Oh
one.
Yeah.
yes.
That's it. Oh,
so
yeah.
that's about me at 19 years old, man. And you gotta look at the production value, dude.
The video is what makes
There's a big lit up U we built, constructed, stood for
Holy
the
shit.
for the underground.
That-
Dude, it looks like a Puff Daddy video.
Right? That's what I was going for, bud.
There's a drum set for some reason in the background.
Because that's where the band played.
There's no stopping me.
I eat all my greens except for my broccoli.
I'm the Easter Bunny. If you didn't know me, I act like a celebrity, but I'm a phony. Easter's all about
This is incredible.
candy and cake. At least that's what you believe, and that's a mistake.
So listen up closely. Listen to me, because I'm about to tell the story of my man
JC.
Born in a manger.
So yeah, dude, I had access
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my
all
life.
Their, all their cameras, all their equipment.
I
dude.
got to tell you guys, if you don't want to, you have to look it up. But if you don't, he's wearing a white headband with a Nike sign on the middle, and then his nose is painted red. He's wearing a fucking bunny outfit.
dude,
It's
that
great.
costume
But he
was-
looks sweaty and like it looks like, you know, to me it looks like he's being held hostage, and like the only way you're getting fucking out here is if you do the Easter Bunny song, you son of a bitch. That's what it looks like to me.
Do the Easter Bunny song.
And then like someone's like tasering you, and you're like, fine, I'll do the Easter Bunny.
Those lyrics are all original, by the way.
Good quality. Good quality.
Wrote those myself.
I'm so glad we brought that. Whoever brought that up,
That
I'm
was-
glad it
that was
happened
Armando.
because it was delightful. Oh my
You're
god!
welcome. You're welcome. You're
You
welcome.
know what?
Mouthpiece Movement.
I've said this
Fandom.
before, and I'll say it again. I can die now. Like I don't give. If I die now, that's fine.
So no, but at that when I was doing that whole little hardcore Christianity phase, dude, I did a lot of their media. I did a lot of their. They would do plays and stuff, big productions for like Sunday night services where they'd get a mass amount of people to come.
Mhm.
They'd advertise it and stuff. I've done a lot of their like plays and stuff like that. I've been in a lot of their little drama crew, I guess.
When was the last time you like worked with them?
Ah, dude, I haven't been to church in
As well as I.
23, 24 years old. I'm
How old are you
30
now?
now.
30? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I went to
I-
church was in high school.
If
when
I see them, people that have
Oh,
been
no,
there
I've
when I
gone.
was there, they'll remember me. I've ran into the pastor of the church, dude, and it was just over like I was eating dinner with.
were you guys both getting lap dances?
No, oh, that would be awesome.
Daniel was giving the lap dances.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you my fucking pastor from 3 years ago? You're just
No.
grinding on him.
Oh, I think if
I didn't bring my offering,
That's a-
but this
I
is
know.
what I'm offering
that's
you.
that's a quick
I'm
way.
a sinner.
That's a
I
quick
wanna
way
repent.
Daniel was a sinner.
You guys want to hear a funny joke, dude?
Daniel used to
we're
blow
good.
guys
Come
for
on.
$5.
All right, right. How big is a preacher's dick?
What?
Well, how
How
big?
do you know this?
Every kid knows this joke. Come on, guys.
I agree.
Ouch, ouch,
I agree
ouch.
that the priests are horrible. Yes, I'm
Whoa, that's burned.
I'm just saying, dude. I could go with jokes around any board you guys want, dude. You guys want to go?
Oh, they're pretty bad.
You want to
I-
go a little racial?
I didn't. Yeah, sure.
some
Go ahead.
racial jokes.
Okay. I won't go too racial because I don't want to offend any communities. But l'chaim to my boys, my Jews. All
My
right.
Jews.
What's faster than a speeding bullet?
Trigger.
A Jew with a coupon.
Oh man.
Why did Jews?
There
play-
goes my Jewish fucking community.
There you go.
There goes
Hey.
my Jewish organization that was listening. They're gone now.
Why did Jews play football?
I don't
The
know.
quarterback.
To get the
I
quarterback.
heard that one before.
All 15 Jews that I know are very upset now.
Oh gosh.
L'chaim.
Hey,
Like
check
I
it out.
said-
UCLA fumbled the ball again. Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
I love UCLA.
UCLA's playing against San Diego State, and it isn't going well.
It's San
Not
Diego
well
State.
at
That's
all.
all you have to say, dude.
Yeah. San Diego State barely beat like Weber State or
Right.
Weber or whoever the fuck it was last week. It's not going well, but at least we have Brian here, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Brian's just had his mouth on the windscreen of the microphone for the last 20 to 30 seconds.
Which is very
Yeah.
disgusting.
How you
Hey, so-
feeling?
Sorry.
We
How you feeling though?
Can I? So we were earlier. Daniel and I escaped, and we went to go on a run to go buy supplies. We bought more wood pellets,
To
chaser,
smoke-
more tequila. You
to
know, all this
smoke
stuff
meat.
to smoke meats. And we were talking about how we had a good time when we went to Irvine Lakes, even though we didn't catch shit. But we have to do a follow up, like
Trip.
cousin weekend camping, fishing, something like that. And Daniel and I actually David as well. I talked about.
David.
I know. That's why I'm talking about it now. I'm putting you guys on the spot, on air,
Damn.
while we're
Yeah,
being recorded.
It's facts.
When is this?
So
We don't. We.
Oh.
The idea is sometime October, November ish. You know, so we have weeks to talk about a planet. To get it's regular weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Go to Lake Paris Friday night, but wake up early Saturday morning, get a pontoon boat, and go out there and catch bluegill and crappie and catch fish, as opposed to like cross our fingers that we maybe catch something. Because out there you're gonna catch shit. You're
All right,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
say
catch-
this straight up. I'm running out of time. I got a baby coming, so it's got to be
October, November is what we're saying. Like
November.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Early
saying
November.
whenever. Well, early November doesn't work because like November 9th was the day we were shooting to do a
baby?
old baby shower, but we're also like, I'll be honest about it. Like, we're not sure if we're even gonna do it because
The baby shower or the baby?
the baby showers.
That was a joke, guys. That was a joke. He lined it up, knocked it down.
That was a good.
Somebody turn on the lights. It's dark in here.
Damn.
This guy with the Y's and the his Annas over here. Eh? Look at cheers to that joke over there. Cheers, everybody. Mando and his fucking
The only
jokes.
thing that should have got aborted was that joke, dude. Jesus.
I wasn't heading.
He didn't make an
I
abortion
didn't-
joke.
It wasn't that dark. You made it darker.
Yeah,
but-
you made
Yeah,
it
you
very
made it
weird.
darker.
You made it a choice.
Damn
I had a
you.
kid. I could beat your
Damn,
ass.
Daniel.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
See what happens when your cousins get on.
speaking of
you know?
making babies in November, you have baby shower. What?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that that we were gonna do it that day. So if we still do it, it'll be that day. If not, well, it'll probably still be that day. It might not be like a big one. We're not sure. We originally just, like sent things out and we're like, this is what we're gonna do, but it's starting to like I don't know. We're sort of hippies, so we
I hate
get to
to
the
break
point
it
where
to
we're
you.
like, man, maybe we shouldn't even fucking do one.
You're gonna have the absence of the Ramirez household. I hate to.
I know,
break it to you live on
no.
air.
Your mom
I
already
just-
told me.
I-
Your mom told us
Yep.
like
Sorry,
weeks
man.
ago.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
haven't even been invited.
I knew.
No, it's all good. I sent it as like it's a nice thing to do thing where it's a right. You know, I knew you weren't gonna be able to go.
I
It's
didn't
not a-
know. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I feel
I
bad.
already talked to. Hey, how's it going? Love you.
Hey, Daniel,
Talk
did you
to your
get your
mom,
invite,
TLC.
dude?
Yeah.
Did I just say they haven't sent anything out?
No, he told me about it
Hey,
already.
I can't hear
Oh,
you.
sorry. He told me about it already.
Oh, he told you about it already?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, what I said was we're not even sure we're gonna do it.
No, but you gave me a heads up.
Yeah, heads up. Did I? I don't even know who you are.
No, I just want to make these guys feel bad.
I know you did. I was
Okay,
like, I
fine.
know he's
How about-
fucking
how
lying.
about- how about a week after
I was
that?
trying so hard to be nice about it. Like, man, he's fucking lying, and I know he's fucking with Brian. I was like,
How about a week after that, November 16th? Then
maybe.
that's exactly a week
It-
after that date.
The only thing is,
Not
here's
gonna be here.
the way I look at it. I really do have
You'll
this.
have to come down from.
I really do
Australia.
have this like this old school, like deep, like pressure or whatever about being the man who needs to be there for you know to be the protector
So,
around the time where
okay.
like leading up to it. So all I'm saying is that part of me is like I want to say yeah, but there's part of me that's
Yeah,
like
no, you're right.
if she's
No,
getting
you have-
bigger, I'm
you
not
have-
gonna feel comfortable being away for an entire
You
weekend.
have a very valid reason for not.
And also, what I do have, and this isn't everybody, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I do have this weird code, this weird thing that maybe it's from my dad, or maybe I just built it up on my own through experience, but I have my own, like, honor system about certain things that isn't right or wrong. I don't ever say, you should all do it the way I do. I just have my own little thing where it's like, I'll probably feel uncomfortable around that time going anywhere for a weekend because I'm like, oh, dude, like, the guilt is built in. It'll be like, you can't be away. You got,
So the
especially
weekend
for
before.
Rocio.
What about the weekend before?
October, like the whole month,
November
as far as I
2nd.
know, sounds pretty
No.
good. So anytime, but the week before, we can probably figure it out.
No.
If she doesn't like it, she should have
Well,
impregnated
okay,
you.
so
bud.
when is
It has
Rocio's due
nothing to do
date?
with Rocio has no say in this.
When-
This is
when-
all, again, like I said, this is all my internal
No, I
thing.
get it.
I'm
When
doing.
is Rocio's due date?
December 28th. So it's super early. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is being away from her while she's pregnant.
So if
you
we
got-
do
you-
it
you-
November,
what-
listen,
what
listen,
you have
listen.
is
So
you
you're
have
saying
2
there's a
weeks
chance.
with Dominic though.
What you're trying to do,
Dominic
Brian, is
is a-
justify it, but you can't because it's his reasoning. He
Dominic
just
is a
established
Tasmanian devil.
He
so
is. I vouch for
Rocio,
that.
Rocio watching a Tasmanian devil while being pregnant with a month to go is a little rough for the old missus, if you will. She's not the missus
I
yet.
think you'll be fine.
I think I
there,
will too.
fella.
All I'm saying is I'm explaining how I might feel at the
Okay.
time, and I don't ever want you guys to be like shocked by that feeling or that thought. 'Cause I'm
We're
like-
totally not gonna guilt you into not coming.
Oh, I know.
to
It
this
won't
trip
even matter.
at
I
all.
I'm
We're
kind of an asshole. It doesn't matter to
You're
me
gonna
what
make-
anyone else thinks. To tell you the truth.
You know what? Either way, you're still on the maybe list anyway. So
but when
I'm sending
what-
the Evite tonight.
all I'm saying is, if the sooner we plan it, the better.
yeah,
And I love that people that are listening are like, I don't give a fuck about your plans,
no,
jerk
no,
off.
because here's why. Here's why we talk about it on the air or on your.
we might do
record-
one after that.
Well, for one,
maybe somebody wants to join.
Everyone here that's on the pod currently is now obligated because they said it on there. It's recorded. It's online.
Oh, I
Number
see
one, so
you
you're
did. You guilt
committed.
tripped us all
You're
in.
committed.
Number
Number
okay.
one. Number two, if there are any anglers, not fishers, anglers. If there are any anglers in that area around the Lake Paris area that want to join us and or give us some pointers or help
We're
us out.
a bit of a fun group. I gotta tell you.
And we do a
We're a
little
hoot.
wacky
We're a
tobacco.
hoot nanny. I gotta tell you.
Kind of want to hang out with us. Some kind of big deals.
We'll make you cry out of laughter for an entire 3-hour.
We will provide
process.
the booze and the flour and
If you had
the
toast.
loaves.
Brian's
consider
very
me-
drunk, and
I
he's
am
been
very
like
drunk.
hanging. He's
I'm
been like
hanging
leaning
by a thread
over,
right now. At this point.
But also, you're right. Like you were saying, there would be a chance for a good follow-up pod afterwards. With
I
the
think
rest
we
of
should, no matter
Oh,
what.
dude.
If we catch some stuff, if we don't
So
catch
where's
some
okay?
stuff-
It's gonna sound stupid, but where is Lake Paris?
Lake Paris is in the Riverside County. It's about
Oh,
an hour and a
super
half
close.
drive. About
Oh,
an hour and a half
okay.
drive to the entrance of the park, and like maybe another 15-20 minutes to the park. itself.
I immediately thought of a joke to myself where I was like, "No, it's not fucking Paris, France, idiot!" Like, and I didn't think that. I just didn't know exactly where it was geographically in California. But Riverside, that's not bad.
Man,
I would like to
hear
do
it though, and you're like,
Right?
"Fuck, that sounds far."
Yeah, I'm like, you fucking
Paris.
idiot. Making fun of myself.
No, it's super close. You can camp there, and it's like they got a beach area. Here the thing is,
Even though it's
Ooh.
shitty
we
right
get
now.
there. So the idea this is has to happen if we do it. We go there Friday after work, wherever we get
Shrooms?
off of work.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
no. We get out of
Acid.
work.
Just me. Okay.
Let's say we all get out
LSD.
let's say we all get out around 5 p.m. ish. Okay, we get there by 8 p.m. ish because we're guys and we take forever to get camping ready.
We do?
Yes.
Oh,
We throw a bunch of stupid shit in the. Oh, we forgot the chair. Oh, we forgot this. We forgot. Okay. So anyway, we get there 8 p.m. that night. That night, we don't do anything but just barbecue, bonfire, whatever. Next morning, we have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
I will.
Because you will. You're
I
good in
will.
the mornings. I'm not. I'm horrible. Because there's a boat rental marina there. You have to be in line by 5 a.m. if you want to be guaranteed a boat. And we get a boat. A pontoon boat that's about 12 to 15 passenger capacity.
Ooh.
We take an ice chest full of what the fuck we want.
Zima.
Zimas,
preferably.
you
Maybe
know,
some
Angry Orchard if we're feeling
Maybe some
crazy.
Smirnoff Ices.
Smirnoff Ices, Zimas.
Brian is like performing this weird
Oral
visual
on the microphone.
He's like biting the microphone and like nobody's watching, and I feel bad. Like, you
Bro,
okay? Is everything all right, Brian?
Try
I think
growing
it's
up
fine.
with him. Try growing up with him.
I don't want
Try
to.
growing up with
I had Matt. I've had enough.
I'm worse.
Actually, it's just about the same. You guys about the
No,
same height too,
Matt's cool. I'm just messing around.
No, don't lie to yourself.
That's all right. I don't know him that well anymore, but he's all right. I think it's honestly, I think it's awesome that he had Jordan because I always thought, no matter what I thought about Matt as like a dude, I always knew he'd be a really good dad, like a great dad. Because Matt's he's not the kind of guy that would shy away from that kind of responsibility. And from what I've seen, and I'm not trying to talk shit or anything because I don't know any better. This is me saying I don't know any better. But it seems like he was way more into like dad time. Like when I've seen I see how he acts with his mom and his dad, and I'm like, dude, he digs Matt a lot, and that makes sense. Like Matt's I'm sure I always knew he was gonna be a great dad, and I was excited for him because I was like, like that, like Matt was sort of in a place, and again, I don't know him, so I could be I don't know him that well as an adult. We didn't hang out as adults that much, but I always felt like. I was like, man, he's sort of looking for what he's going to do in life, or where he was sort of confused. Like, we all go through that phase where we don't know what the fuck's up with life, and we don't know what we're going to do. And I think when he found out that he was going to have a kid, initially he was probably shocked, but then he was like, you know what? This is awesome for me. It's great. It's a good time to sort of grow up a little bit and show off like what you're great at. And I think he, as far as I can tell, he's a real fun and cool dad.
I follow your brother on Instagram.
So do I.
And I love his posts about like your nephew doing the stupidest shit. Like it's funny because you could tell you could the pictures.
It's all real.
The pictures tell
the
story of the pride and like the happiness that he's got as a dad. So you could tell he's a good
That's what I was saying. I never worried about that. So my initial thought when I saw that, just being like a worried older brother who to a guy who you don't really hang out with that much, you're like, oh shit, man, this guy's got more responsibility. Oh Jesus Christ! But then I really like thought about it. I'm like, this is good for him. Like he'll be good here. He'll be fine.
Dude, he's fine, dude.
So that's good. And also like I'm not trying to be a dick. I heard that my brother Matt has a podcast, and if anyone knows what the name of it is, because I follow him on Instagram, and he's never said what the name of his podcast is, but do you know what it is? Is that what you're looking? Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't.
Remember he messaged me something Very briefly.
But next time, if he ever tells me what it is, I'll shout it out. We'll let him know to go check out that podcast and where to check it out, brother. And if any of you are listening that we're downloading on the old and anything else like iTunes, Stitcher, through the link in my bio, my website, mouthpiecemoment.libsyn.com, we're also available on Stitcher now. I'm sorry, not Stitcher, Spotify. That was pretty cool. Like to be able to finally get your podcast on Spotify is cool. And like I didn't even think about it. And one of my friends, I want to give a shout out to Jamie Richardson. One of my, she was my friend first, but coworkers / friends, sister of one of my really good friends, Luke. She was like, I was looking on Spotify for your podcast and I didn't find it. And I had just totally not thought about Spotify for a long time. And I was like, damn, we should have it up there. So I went and did what we had to do and emails or whatever, and we got set up for Spotify. So now if you guys are listening to it on something else and you use Spotify a lot, go to Spotify from now on.
So tell your friends, spread the word.
Yeah, Mouthpiece Moment is the name of the podcast. You can search it that way. You can search Lance Uribe. Check it out and subscribe or follow.
Brian is jerking your mouth.
Yeah,
your microphone
you know what's
off.
crazy about Brian is everything he's doing is not going to show up on the podcast, but he's just doing a bunch of weird shit. He's like
visual comedy.
Yeah.
He's very drunk. He mouthed it to me while I was talking about something else.
They invited me
like,
in my
"I'm
moving
drunk."
tumor.
He's the moving tumor?
Yeah. Because he hasn't.
That's a visual joke.
He hasn't said very much though. That's what I mean. He's just been a visual.
You saying he
person.
sucks?
Yeah.
I agree. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though,
more of a visual person.
All right, so we started to get on this and then we moved away, but we talked about like you doing like, you know, being funny and all that, and then you doing what you got into God and went that route, you know.
But I was funny for Jesus, bro. Funny for Jesus.
Jokes for
It was for
Jesus.
Jesus.
You were J4J. Got it.
Yeah.
But do you ever like look? Do you ever think about like getting into anything else? Like, have you ever had like some sort of passion?
I did, dude. I want to be honest with you. I did for a long time. I looked into it. I
Scientology?
Looked into what though?
like
Scientology.
pursuing some kind of like looking up for like casting things and
So like to be an actor.
to be an actor,
Okay.
to be some sort of comedian, anything, dude. Like even stand up a little bit, but I hear stand up's just fucking tough, dude.
It is tough, but like I feel like, and I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert because I'm not. There are plenty of other comedians that I've made friends with and people that I've had on the show that are like legit. They did it the legit like LA way, where you go and you get your fucking ass kicked for like 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
and then you start to make some sort of headway,
Yeah.
and people start to notice you a little bit maybe if you've done your work. Another one. Dang, here you go. I'll take him.
Savages, bro.
Here you go.
Bye, Christy.
I'm just
Love you.
drinking.
He's going. Thank you. Love you.
That's Mando's,
Mando's sister's leaving.
Christy.
Cousin
She's
Christy.
leaving.
She's in a girls, so don't even try, guys.
No, she's happily married, has
Well,
2 wonderful kids.
No one's gonna hear bye on the show and be like, "Yeah, dude, is she single, bro?" Mondo sounds like a hot dude.
On
Probably has a hot sister.
on my asshole, because you know, like I'm.
She is. I'm not trying to sound
She
creepy
is,
because she's
so
my cousin.
I
She's
know.
attractive.
Yeah, our whole
And-
family
and
has attractive.
I was about to say
We're
it's,
all
honestly,
attractive.
not being conceited.
Not even
Lance,
or
I'm not
cocky.
gay, dude, but if I was in,
I'm pretty good looking, right? The thing is, I don't try anything. That's a great thing. Like I'm so fucking hot, dude. That's good.
I don't
kidding.
need to work out. I
I
just
was like-
fucking radiate.
I definitely don't work out at
brilliantness.
all. I all I do is stretching and meditating. That's it.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
crazy
When
how
pe-
God
when-
given is a thing, dude.
When,
You know?
when,
Dude,
when,
I was-
when people see the bulge, they just know.
First off, you guys, no matter how much younger than me you are, you remember me as a child. I was a fat kid every
You
day
were
of my
chubby.
childhood.
You were chubby.
So
bro.
anyone who ever says I'm lucky, I'm like, no. I worked to get here.
Yeah.
I don't eat bad food all the time. I definitely do eat shit. Like last night, I ate a pastrami sandwich because it was like
where?
damn,
From where?
dude, I
from
got
fucking,
harder.
I don't
now.
know, like
matters.
Tams.
It does
Tams.
matter,
It wasn't.
sir.
I'm not gonna act like it was a great one. It was one of those things like we had plans. Plans didn't go the way they worked out, and
Hey, we're gonna hit Tams on the way home.
pretty much. Yeah.
Mr. Mouthpiece used to
again-
be Mr. Mouthful. You know what I mean?
exactly, and it still can
Where
go
have you
that
been
way.
all night? Where have you been all night?
He's finally telling jokes.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. The
No,
whole show's
apologies,
about.
apologies.
Oh, now you're taking a shot. Look at another one. Get in there, Papa.
Another shot to the mouth, Daniel.
but I
That
was-
the third time this week.
I was a very fat kid when I was little, but I was athletic, so it was this weird thing where like I was
You
always
were,
an
though. You
all
played
star.
football.
I was an
You
all star.
played
I didn't play
football.
football until I was in high school, but
Really?
yeah, not till high school.
I thought you played Redskins.
Lance
I
was what
went
they
out
could
for
say.
one. Matt did, yeah,
Yeah.
I did it.
Lance was what you would consider a slim, thick fellow.
I agree, 100%. I was on all-star teams. I was on like all-league teams when I was a little kid. But I was the fat kid. No, what I'm saying is it was weird because I was the fat kid, but I could hang. You know, like so I was able to play and all that. But so it's not like.
Weren't you in the movie Heavyweights?
Oh,
yes,
burn.
I was Josh. I was. This pleases me. But by the way, I fucking love that movie.
I did too.
And if you've never seen the movie Heavyweights, it's a Disney movie where for some reason it's a Disney movie. I don't get it because they say say bitchin' and ass in the movie. I don't know how you could have a Disney movie where bitchin' and ass.
Fat kids, dude.
And it's a horrible story about fat children being ridiculed by jocks.
It is fucking great. It is
And then the fat children like crack fat jokes at each other. These kids are the most ball-busting humans under 18 that I've ever seen in my life.
Character.
Dude,
builds character.
And by the way, another thing people don't talk about enough is Mando just brought it up.
Ben Stiller.
I think it's one of Ben Stiller's best roles
Right?
ever.
Dude.
To me, he's so
pre-
funny as this creep. What he is he's basically like. He's this kid. He's not a kid. He's an adult who, as a child, was a fat kid who was like 300 pounds at like 10 years old. His dad was super rich, so his dad gives him money to buy out a fat camp so that he can sell a DVD that helps promote weight loss.
If you've ever seen Dodgeball, the movie with Vince Vaughn,
Good call.
That's the
like
best
it's
representation.
like Ben Stiller was developing the character he is in Dodgeball in the role he's playing in
Right.
Heavyweights.
Dodgeball's like part 2, and Heavyweights is part 1.
Douchey funny, dude. Like,
He's like this guy that was never socialized around people, so he doesn't understand how to deal with people. He thinks if you just yell at them, they'll do what you want.
Like if I can demean you and belittle you, you're gonna do what I want. So I'm gonna call you a fat, ugly kid.
He says shit like he'll be like, lunch was canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it. But he like plays this weird guy who's not a douchebag because he's never been around people who are douchebags, but he's trying to be a douchebag, and it's just. But he's so funny because he's like super athletic and he's running the whole time. So like he's telling people these douchey lines, and then he's in like a full like Under Armour bodysuit, and he's just all like, yeah,
get on the scale, get off the scale.
Let's turn off the camera. I don't know how to. And then he has a conversation with himself, and he's talking to himself in this weird psychological breakdown where he's like, hey, Tony, how you doing? Not so good. Why not? Because they're not listening. Well, why aren't they listening? Because they're not listening. It's not your fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's your fault. And
That requires video. See what you just did?
Yeah,
that
dude.
requires video.
I was trying to like talk at a different.
But you did
It
good.
didn't work.
You
Yeah,
did good. It was
Dude,
entertaining from
But
here.
that makes it way
You
more.
gotta watch it.
Way more better.
because it'll show like when you watch it, it'll look like a Disney movie with children, and that is the case. Okay, I'll put it this way: if anybody liked Mighty Ducks, the first and second one, that's basically what it is. It's like that, but with more
Campy.
ball busting. It's kind of like the Sandlot a little bit,
Yeah.
where the Sandlot says bitchin' and stuff. It's like that, but if you haven't seen it, you have to. But I definitely was one of the Heavyweights kids where I could I was a fat kid who can hang, And these kids are funny as fuck, I think. And some of them, some of them turned were child stars in the '90s, so
Yeah.
they're recognizable. Like you'll recognize a couple of them from the Mighty Ducks movie.
Wasn't
both of them.
Yeah, that was
The guy I talked about. Goldberg is Josh.
The black kid.
Josh is the kid who has a big mouth and he talks shit back to all the camp counselors, and he's like. He makes fun of Ben Stiller, and Ben Stiller's character tells him oh, we'll see how you do tomorrow or something like that, and then he disappears. That's one of the funniest scenes I've seen
I
in a
saw
while.
that in the drive-in, dude. That's how old
Really?
that. Yes, sir. I'm not kidding. I saw
That's
that
a great
shit
movie.
Yes, that's how old that movie is, by the way. Drive-ins are there's 2 in SoCal that I know of.
So shot number 9 almost came back up, guys.
Really? You feeling it now?
Dude, we were joking about it coming back from. He was like, oh, 3 or 4 shots tonight, and I go, well, as long as it's not 6 or 9, and
Now we're at 9, heading
Is that-
into the 11 to 12 area.
It's a baseball game. It's a game going. He might go into the 17th inning.
Yeah,
and
you can't say it's going to be over in 9. You don't know.
No. It's not going to be over, dude.
rain delays.
You know what's keeping me going more than anything, dude, is that I still have to see my girl and face dinner, dude.
No, it's
Where
not
you
gonna
go for
happen.
dinner?
It's not gonna happen.
I don't know, dude.
Somewhere around here?
I like going to the Cheesecake Factory only because they have these buffalo. I don't know, they're like buffalo balls. They're like battered
You like
buffalo
balls?
chicken. but there's like buffalo sauce inside with shredded chicken, and it's battered ball.
Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
They have some curd
They're fucking-
cheese balls that are pretty amazing,
fucking
and then they
delicious.
have like some like steak medallions that are pretty okay.
I
It's
eat, dude.
expensive.
I get full off the appetizers because they give you a full
Yeah,
platter,
they hook
dude.
you up. But it's expensive.
And then I just drink, and then I'm good.
Oh, like,
I used to do that when I lived in Monrovia. There was this Cheesecake Factory around there, and they had a cool like happy hour where you go there and you'd have finger foods and watch the game because they just had the game up, whatever the game was at the time. And it was the first time I'd ever gone anywhere for like a non-dirtbaggy happy hour. It was like it felt weird. I was like,
you have to justify.
should I be spilling or something? Should I have a dirty shirt? I don't know. I feel like I'm too nice around
I
here.
see what you're doing. You're reaching, dude.
I'm waiting.
Okay, well we're gonna wrap it up then.
No,
'Cause-
don't, dude. This
Well, we're good. Fucking Brian's over there having a conversation about God or whatever.
Sorry, guys.
we touch one subject of
Oh,
God and
you're like Jesus, whatever, bro. Get out of here.
That reminds me of my 3 o'clock. Hold on, guys.
Hey, listen, it's me, Jesus' friend. We have a lot to talk about.
Sorry, I missed your call. What is it you needed?
This
What do you
is
want,
why we
douchebag? But all right. I'm just glad we got to hang out last week. Like it was really funny, and I was like, man, I can't wait to do this. Today's like whole setup was kind of weird because UFC 242 is in Abu Dhabi, and so like I'm a big UFC fan. Mando's a big UFC fan. We like to watch as much as possible. So the whole card started at 7 a.m.
I got up at 6:30.
our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the plan was we're like, okay, well, I didn't know if we should wait till after the fight, which is 2 p.m., or if we should do it during the fight. There was a whole kind of we'll just figure it out because whenever we come over to here, when I come here to Mando's parents' house, it's like this fun house that I just remember being at a bunch of parties. So it's like this
Right.
thing where you
We
never
used to
really
have
know
the-
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we used to have so for a long time when we were growing up,
Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me take this. Hello?
Hello, did I call in on time?
You're on the show right
oh,
now.
that's Sven.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. What's up, doggies?
What's up, Sven?
What's
My
up?
you can't
co-host
hear
said he was
us.
gonna call, and I had to tell him twice that we're changing the.
Format.
Yeah, that we were like, oh, we're gonna do it at 10 a.m. and then he was like, oh, you guys done? And I was like, whoops, we're gonna do it at 2 p.m. So he wanted to call in and talk a little bit. I already told everybody that you're not here because you're jerking dudes off at a Stained concert.
Super jealous.
Yes, actually, I'm still at the same concert, currently jerking a dude off right now.
And I told everyone that your favorite band is Stained.
Yes, it is my favorite band, and we're crying using our tears as lubricant.
Oh, boo.
But I just wanted to call, get on this show real quick, make it faster than the finish that Khabib just did today.
Oh.
Oh,
motherfucker.
jabs.
What's the third
We're,
round? Yeah.
we're at an hour and a half right now.
Hey, but hamdulillah, hamdulillah. That's all I
Dude,
gotta
people are
say.
gonna be mad when you say that. You know they're gonna come after you.
Who's gonna come
You're
after
short
me?
and dark. That's not a good strategy.
Fuck it, we'll move to Abu Dhabi.
They'll kill you there.
You do.
Why? I look probably just like them.
Yeah, but you
He
don't.
does.
You don't have
He
the big old
does.
beard. You don't have the big old beard or goatee that the rest of them do.
Cheeks or whatever, the fucking blanket looking thing.
Oh, you can't call it a
Fuck.
blanket, dude. Now you're gonna get
Too
assassinated.
far, too far.
Sven is like really well traveled too, so that surprises me.
How the fuck do you talk about my people that way?
What's the topic of the day, fellas?
Your butthole?
We're talking about killing
oh,
you.
Shit. You know, it's actually still brown.
We're still talking about it. That's how
How's
big it is.
how's the Stained concert going?
Did you get pretty
Not so
stained?
good.
It's quiet.
That's not going that well. I think they're getting so desperate they're about to bring out Fred Durst.
So all 20 of you are waiting still, or what?
What
You-
happened?
He said all 20 of you are still waiting. Like what he's saying is nobody goes to watch Stained.
Yeah, just me and the guys I'm jerking off.
Is Aaron Lewis even with them still?
I think he just does like his own country group.
Right?
He didn't say he's gonna go see Stain. He's just say he's gonna go clean some guy's
gonna go
stained
make
underpants.
What?
gonna
What's
go-
Sven?
Cousin Mando?
Yeah.
That's cousin Mando saying you're gonna go get stained by men.
And you-
Oh, man. Hey,
what?
I gotta say this real quick before I let you guys go and continue with the show, but I think fucking Edson Barbosa got robbed. What kind of shit
Yeah.
I disagree.
is that? What?
I think it was close.
I had money on it, so
I
I
think
would
he won
be
the
I would
first
be
two.
thrilled to be on that side.
I think
First
what.
2 rounds, I gave it to him.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, and then fucking.
Hey, what do you think about my girl JoJo's performance?
Hey,
What do you think about my girl
What do
JoJo's
you think?
performance?
He's asking, what do you think about JoJo Calderwood?
I forget that he can't hear us.
Oh man, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. That girl has beautiful technique. She's badass.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
dropped her with that elbow.
Mondo's saying thank you. That's his wife.
I want a little bit of
I'm already
money.
married, so
I
I'm
know.
good.
No. He's saying that's Mondo's wife. Mondo's saying that's his wife.
Who, JoJo Calderwood?
Yeah.
He seems more like a Gabby Garcia kind of guy to me.
Fuck.
He said you'd get fucked in the ass.
Yes, dirty thoughts of Gabby Garcia and fucking Cyborg.
Oh, fuck him up, Mondo.
Ooh, cyborg.
And here I
Yeah,
was
they're
thinking
bending
nobody
him over.
got punched in the dick today.
Oh my
dude.
god. Mondo's
Hey,
got
why the hate? I've been saying, why the hate, Sven? I've been saying nothing but nice things about you on the podcast, and then all of a sudden you're saying I like
but
big
I
chicks.
had to get an opportunity to be a dick real quick.
All
I had to
right.
jump on this show.
He just knows how the show is, and he's like, you guys.
Mondo
shit.
likes big
I just gotta let
muscles.
the people know that I'm still relevant. I'm still here. We
No,
didn't break up.
it's one episode. I told everyone in the beginning.
Alright,
You clingy fucking pussy.
Hey, trust me, no one was like, oh my god, the episode's not good without Sven. Trust me, no one was saying that.
Mondo said, "Trust me, nobody's saying this episode sucks because you're not here."
Tell him even though Mondo's the buzz to his
Oh,
wedding, dude.
man.
He's been replaced.
Let me tell you something.
Hey,
Brian
next episode,
Dadoy
let's
and
bring
Daniel
Cousin Mando
son.
on.
What?
Let's go. Next episode, let's bring Cousin Mando on.
Yeah, he's great. I love having Mondo on. Mondo says he's busy with stuff like fraternity stuff, so he can't come on all the time.
like
He's
beating
jerking
my
more
meat,
dudes off than I am, then.
smoking my meats. I smoke meats.
I went. Oh, what was I gonna ask? I forgot now. Damn, I had something I was gonna ask you, Sven, but then I totally did something
I
else.
want to meet this guy, dude. I want to blow him.
You know Sven?
fuck.
What?
You know Sven?
No, I haven't met him.
Oh, my cousins never met you. My other cousins, they want to meet you.
Oh shit. Well, we'll get there.
He's
Oh,
like
that's what I want to talk
he's
about.
like your brother but shorter.
What?
Oh, he said you're like my brother Matt, but shorter.
You have a brother named Matt?
Oh shit!
You know that. You know what? Oh, I want to actually announce something right now. It's not really announcing it, but it was pretty cool. I hit up the referee, Mike Beltran, the guy with that super long beard, the Mexican dude that looks like a fucking Viking. I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I explained like why he should be on the show, and especially because he knows Batiste and Romy, and we're all like, we're doing this MMA thing. So I was like, hey man, I asked him to be on. He said he's gonna be on some point, but obviously you guys all saw that he's on FX on the show Mayan, so he's a little busy right now. He told me when he's all set up with that, he's gonna be on the show. So
Actually,
look forward to that.
What Lance is afraid to
That's what I'm
say.
talking about. Fuck yeah, and then we're going to get Steve Mazzagatti because he's out of a job and he needs to fucking beg somebody to let him rep.
Lance is afraid to say the truth. I read the text from Mike Beltran, and he's not afraid to say it. But he said, "I will not be on that podcast as long as that d-bag," and I'm paraphrasing. As long as that d-bag Sven is on the podcast, f that show mouthpiece moment. I said, Mr. Beltran, Sven's a nice guy. Don't hold it against him that he's only 5'2" or whatever he is. Like, it's cool. Like,
What the fuck's going on?
Mondo is.
I'm firing back, you
Mondo's
idiot.
firing back. He said that what really happened on the.
Don't tell him.
Through the
Listen
text
to the podcast.
message.
You'll find out, puss.
He said what really happened was that he said he didn't want to be on the show because of you, because he didn't want to hang out with you and you're short and everyone hates you.
mic drop.
I guess that's why we get high ratings because you just want to hear me.
I guess. All right, man. We're gonna wrap up soon. It's been about like an hour and a half. We're gonna wrap up. So thanks for calling. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No worries. Hey, Mando, make sure that Gabby and Cyborg wrap it up too and don't let him invite Bigfoot.
Oh, Mondo. He just said. I know you didn't hear him, Mondo. He said make sure that Gabby and Cyborg. Say it again. Say it again.
Make sure Gabby and Cyborg wrap it up and don't let him invite Bigfoot Silva.
Don't let him invite Bigfoot Silva.
Oh, I
That's
like.
right. I'm giving
Dude,
you all the ugly Brazilians. That's
they're
what you deserve
delicious.
right now.
I love them all. I love Brazil.
They all got big
All right,
booties.
brother. Appreciate the call.
All right, you have a good show. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, peace. So that was Sven. Damn, I didn't even know. Sven just fucking spit in your mouth a little bit.
Can I just say #super unnecessary? Because like George
Jorge
Masvidal,
Masvidal.
yeah, that's super necessary. But Sven, #super necessary.
He's a ball buster. He
Yeah,
really is.
I
It's
get
all
it.
it's all love.
I like him. He's a good guy.
But hey, again, thank you guys for being on. I think we're wrapping up here because it's time to eat.
What happens is like I made some pretty delicious looking food and it's been sitting in front of us for like an hour and a half or however long it's probably. So everyone's like, "Oh, when can I eat?" I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, when can I eat your delicious food? You're the best ever.
My
Is that for
mom.
me? That's enough.
My mom's.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom wants.
At least talk on the microphone if you're gonna. Come on, jump in there.
I'm
Say
taking this for my lunch. Thank you, guys.
who you are. You gotta say your name, who you are.
My name is Lucy. All of
And
these
you're
are my.
goosey.
I'm kind of goosey. These are my grand. not my
Nephews?
grand-
Or just
My
mom
nephews.
is
just
nephews.
I'm
My
sorry.
mom
Who's
has not had anything
who's
to drink.
drinking all the
I haven't
tequila,
been
huh?
drinking. These are my nephews that I love a lot, and I like to have them around my house.
Then why are you slapping me?
And why are you beating him?
Why are you
Thus
stealing his
lazy.
meat?
Yeah, what's this chokehold all about? Tell me.
Any shout outs you guys gotta give? Anything you wanna plug?
Yeah, this is to my Ruka.
Hey, this ain't our LeBeau show, dog.
Oh,
Cut it
my
out.
bad.
I like that
Right.
Brian has been sitting here maybe 40% of the time, talking 5% of the time.
5%.
Yeah, I
he
know,
just
I'm
participated.
sorry.
No,
I
no,
just-
we're not mad at you. We're just saying we love you. That's
You
all.
participated.
We just want you to get help.
And then
participated as much as your hair did, bro.
now that I try to give a shout out to my Ruka Breezy, and now you're like, all right,
Who's
nah,
Breezy,
dog.
fool?
Breezy, dog.
Where's
this
she
is
from,
Breezy.
vato?
She's fucking up in the high desert, dog.
Victor
Hey,
Velez.
I miss you and your lonjas.
Oh. Look up lonjas if you don't know what they are.
Make sure next time you come to my
Hey,
pad,
Hashtag
Hey,
muffin top.
you bring your homegirl.
You're talking about this right now. You participated as much as your hair, and at the same time, we're treating it like your hair, dude. We're glad we didn't see it, dude.
Ooh.
Oh, zing.
It took a while. It took a while to develop that one.
Don't
That
worry.
was almost a good
So
one.
just your ruka.
just my
Any
Ruka.
shout out. Anyone you gotta say what's up to? Any plugs? Anything?
Plugs. No, I mean,
you can say no. That's fine.
no. I mean, I don't got any shout outs because
You hate everyone.
I do hate everyone. Actually, my friends think they're my friends. They keep coming to my parties, and I don't want them to show up. I'd actually prefer if nobody showed up to my bar
Gotcha.
today to drink, but people are gonna
You have
come.
a bar?
I don't have a bar. It's just like a local watering hole I go to. I've hooked up with like 90% of the girls that go there. It is what
Are
it is.
you like
dude.
that
They're
sleaze
all
bag?
over
Just like
60.
bangs the same like.
They're all
You're
over.
the guy that
60.
hooks up with girls and like.
Two of them still work there. It makes it awkward when my
What's the
girl
place
goes.
called?
Draft Picks in Whittier.
Oh,
Or La Mirada.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude. Stomping ground.
Liar.
Yeah. Ryan knows, dude. Like I know the bar owner. I know everybody.
You show. You seem to have a
Daniel
lot of-
blew everybody there.
Yeah.
You
He
seem
did.
to have a lot of pride in that. You a big fan of like slaying babes in one geographical location? Is that
You
like
know
a
what
thing?
it is, dude? It's like a territorial call.
Is
like,
it a thing because like 8 years you were all like blind and
Blind
you're all
and-
way into
yeah,
God and
way
all
into
that
God.
stuff, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh wait a minute, I'm God, and then you started hooking up with girls.
So how many times did you catch syphilis? Quiet.
Oh, you want
You had to
to
think
talk
about
about
that.
syphilis, Brian?
It was gonorrhea, dude.
No,
and
no,
I only
no,
caught it
no,
once.
no, no.
dude.
Guys,
I'm
wait.
glad you touched up on this subject before we wrapped it up, Brian. So
Oh.
syphilis. I have never contracted syphilis. okay?
Wait.
But
Okay.
mind you,
Wait.
no. When Brian did meet his baby mama, okay, mind you, they had known each other prior to because her brother and me were good friends. That's how her
Known
and Brian
in the
met.
biblical way? Like
No.
known in the biblical
No,
way.
in the biblical sense, where
Okay.
names were accustomed.
Mhm.
Okay, and in the book of Brian, chapter 1.
Mm.
Oh no.
So Brian one day comes up to me, he's like, "Guess who I started talking to again?" Really excited. I'm like, "Who?" He's like,
Oh,
"Check
no.
it out, Melissa Saunders." And what I'm
Oh,
doing
last
right now,
names, last
why
names.
you gotta even drop
We're
the
on the last
name?
names. We're on the
Oh
last
my
names. That's cool.
God.
If anybody
Name.
knows her, no big deal.
Come
no
on.
one's gonna know her, bro.
Come
She moved
on.
to Washington.
Don't
She has
drop
like 3
names.
friends, dude. We're good.
Yep.
No
So-
one likes her.
Anyway, so Brian says, "Oh yeah, look, I ran into blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So then, Brian, she's not gonna hear this. Don't worry about it, dude.
See, I would not have dropped the last name, and then you could have been sort
Yeah,
of
just-
incognito. But now
It
that
could
you
be
dropped
any
the name,
Melissa Saunders,
okay,
you know.
all right.
I'm gonna drop
Let's
it
drop
again.
it. Let's drop it again. Let's drop it again.
Oh, there's
So
a
the
ton
rule
of
is,
those.
the rule is
Fucking guy.
repeat the name one more time. In case you didn't hear it the first time, I'm gonna say the name again.
Yeah. Is there any way I can get some ice in this?
And if you guys know that, it's no big deal.
Anyway, I don't care. I don't really care for her. She's crazy. She's the devil. So Brian comes up to me and oh yeah, I'm talking to her. Cool.
Oh, Jesus
About 2
Christ.
weeks
I feel
later,
bad already.
Brian's going out with her. I'm like, oh, that's good for you, bud.
Boo.
I asked to borrow Brian's phone because mine died, bro. So I needed to look something up. And you know how when you go to the Google search engine, your recent history comes up of like the
She
last
gave
things
the
you searched?
G.
The last thing this guy searched was, "Can you get syphilis from head?" And I'm like, "Bro, you got syphilis."
no.
Dude.
Hey, look at him. Look at him. True or false?
He has a look of concern for the non-visual
Thank you, Theo.
viewers of the Mouthpiece.
Oh my
Moment.
God, Daniel, what are you doing to your brother, man?
He brought it up. I've got chlamydia. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I want to know what the score count is. STDs, you versus Brian. That's right.
I've only got chlamydia
Only one?
one time,
Okay.
and that was through someone.
Yeah, see, you don't mention her name.
Yeah, her name's Veronica
God.
Munez, dude.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay.
You gotta leave people out of this, man. Everybody
say-
changes.
Initials.
I
initials.
want to
Oh
leave people
my
out of it. You guys
God.
asked. You guys said who?
I didn't ask. I didn't say a goddamn thing.
I just want to. I didn't want to back down, dude. I didn't want to just throw Brian under the shade and then
God.
like, oh, Daniel gets to get away.
See, this is why I'm. This
So
is
don't
why.
repeat the name.
This is why my brother and I don't talk, because this is what would happen.
No, you know what?
We
You
don't
know
be
what?
nice to people.
You know what's you know what the best part about this is? Someone out there's gonna know of Veronica Munez and be
Hey,
like,
course.
say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, you
Repeat
just
them.
broke up a relationship. Someone just fucking killed their wife, Veronica, because of your disgusting penis. I'm
It's
just
not
kidding. I don't know that
disgusting.
it's disgusting. I'm
It's
just
actually-
kidding. I'm sorry.
It's got a very nice shape to it, dude.
Curve to the right.
Brian hasn't said a word.
Brian's mad at me
since-
now.
I mean, you brought it up. I mean,
Hey,
So-
you threw shade, dog. You threw
So
shade.
He
you
was
each,
joking.
You each, you're, so the score is 1-1 of STDs.
you got anything, Brian? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, I
So
don't-
the
I
score is
don't-
1-1.
How do you-
That's my
honestly
that
don't
one hurt.
have anything.
Did that one? No, but
I
did
mean-
that one hurt a little bit?
No, because I honestly don't recall ever looking up anything in that Google search.
Oh.
But
Well, he can say he doesn't know.
I mean, no. I mean, that's fine because I mean, I looked up a lot of stuff in Google search. Don't get me wrong, dude.
yeah.
You know.
like,
Midget-
how do you get a pine
midget-
cone?
Like, do all transvestites have Adam's apples?
Right, that's a good one. Or
Yeah.
how do you get a pine cone out of your butt?
Right,
That's all- yeah,
exactly,
for sure.
dude.
We've all been there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fish hook kind of thing, you know, where you got to kind of like side by side, you know, you got to get it out little by little.
Also, if you're not familiar with Tool, go get the fucking album. It's amazing. Numa and Tempest have removed my testicles because they're just so good. Numa slams so hard. Listen to the message. Listen to the message of Numa. It's PNEUMA off the album Fear Inoculum. I don't give a fuck what anyone's saying. Listen to it. Listen
It's
to the
great.
message of it. Listen to the lyrics. It makes a lot of sense. Numa, wake up, remember. Anyway, Brian, are you feeling good, man?
Hashtag.
Brian's eyes are watery.
Hashtag
I
David
am very fucked
Rotana.
up.
Brian,
Very-
how many STDs have you had?
0 to this day.
Lies.
Really?
Even after Breezy.
Gee,
even
why,
after Breezy.
Mondo? Why do you say lies?
Because if you had to look it up,
That doesn't mean he got it. It means
and
he was looking
if
it
you had to
up.
look it up and you had his face down.
First off,
look, if you had to look
think about it.
look,
Do you,
if
can you
you
get chlamydia from a blowjob? Is that what you said?
Hey, okay, so
I
hold
don't
on.
know.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell-
know.
tell-
I wouldn't-
no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no, no,
Google-
no, no,
I wouldn't
fuck that.
Google it.
Okay,
Syphilis.
the way
Oh,
you're
from
saying
a blowjob,
the
though.
way you're
No,
saying
I
the way you're
assume you
saying it
can.
right now, the way he's saying it right now, though. If somebody said you had something and you had to put your head down, so if Daniel would have said Brian had sex with over 1,000 women in one day, and I put my head down, you'd believe it?
Yeah?
From
Yeah.
Daniel?
Yeah?
I wouldn't believe from Daniel.
Well,
Because
I
you're
would.
funny.
But then again, I don't make statements like that.
All
just
I'm saying is
anyway,
it's a
dude.
compliment that you're funny. So my thought is that you would say something to be funny.
Yeah, I would say something to be funny. But in this sense, I was probably saying something to be funny.
Brian is like,
I was about to-
Brian's very drunk and he has this shot and he just told me, he's like, I'm fucked up. And he's like, but I'm going to take this shot.
No,
All
but
I'm just like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm
right,
gonna
well,
take
cheers,
this off.
But yeah,
everybody. Another
yeah.
one.
I am fucking drunk.
I did get
Are you done, mijo?
I did get the clams.
Shout out to David Rotana, our
Oh,
cousin.
yeah, he
for
wanted to
coming
be here,
fishing
but-
and didn't come out to the podcast because he sucks nutsack.
Nah, he said he couldn't because he's watching it with his daughter. He might. I mean, there's a chance that he might come over, but
There's a
not for the
chance
show.
that his vagina is big.
He's
and
watching
gaping
what?
And doesn't want us to drop
It?
the N bombs
What
again.
an itty.
It.
Hashtag shout out to my girlfriend Joanne Calderwood.
Ooh, yeah.
for
She got the W.
tonight against the
You know what?
tough
Big
And
dub?
it's great
Big
that she
dub?
won because she fought somebody who is a fighter, and no disrespect at all to Kaylin Chukagian, but she's a point fighter.
I'm gonna
Like,
beat you
and,
by
and,
points.
and again, she'll probably kick my ass. So I'm not like talking shit. All I'm saying is, I'm just not. I don't want to watch her fight. I mean, props to her, all that.
not
but,
a lot of people do.
But when you watch the fight today between Joanne Calderwood
KGB,
and
everyone's eyes were
Andrea Lee,
Mhm.
they were fighting. They were scrapping. You didn't get to watch all of it, right?
I watched clips and pieces as I was in and out of the kitchen and barbecuing.
Yeah, but I got to watch it, and it was a good fight, like a good scrap. It wasn't like anyone was point fighting. It looks like they were trying to get the shit done, and they were both Muay Thai strikers for the most part. So
JoJo used some grappling and some cage control from her boyfriend teaching her, so that's good for her.
Mondo's very hurt, but here's what's gonna happen, and I've already envisioned this, and whenever I envision it, I make it happen. We're gonna have Joanne Calderwood because I'm gonna move to Vegas, and I'm gonna take the show there, and we're gonna scoop up a bunch of fighters that live in Vegas and the fighters that come to Performance Institute. And Joanne Calderwood's gonna be on because she's awesome, and I'm a big fan of awesome people who are fun and aren't the normal, average, question answer bullshit type of person. She's gonna come on the show. Mando's gonna come up and visit. He's gonna be on that episode. And then she's gonna realize. Let me speak for you because I'm gonna knock it out of the park right now for you.
Thank you. You're gonna butcher it if you talk.
Yeah, you suck. So let me do it. I'm just kidding, but
I was gonna say I'm gonna.
She's gonna show up. She's gonna be all like, yeah, I've been having trouble with John Wood. No disrespect, I love you, John Wood. I respect you. You do an awesome job. I respect what you do at Syndicate. But she's gonna be like, you know what? He's my coach. I shouldn't be dating him. And then she's gonna have that moment where she looks over at Mando, and then all of a sudden you hear like the Turtle song or whatever they're called, like you and me. No matter how they toss the dice, you and me, you and me, me for you.
So happy
together. Got it.
I can't see me.
Oh, he woke up. Fuck, Brian woke up. But anyway, that's what she's gonna hear in her mind, and her eyes are gonna turn all sparkly when she sees Mando. And Mondo's gonna do what he normally does, act like he's a piece of shit and he's a mutant. And then we're gonna be like, nah, man. Show some confidence, and out of this divine moment, he's going to show an ounce of confidence around a female that he's attracted to.
# Dustin Poirier and Khabib Nurmagomedov. That was an amazing fight.
And what's going to happen is he's getting uncomfortable because he's getting some kind of praise. Mm-hmm. And so she's going to look over and she's going to start talking, and then I'm going to kind of like back out of the scenario, and it's just going to be a moment where just them two are getting to know each other on the show. And then she's going to realize, you know what?
I'm tired of being coached. I want to coach.
Right.
And she's going to coach
I want to be the one to hammer.
I'm an avid fan. So I'm a fan of I follow 3 MMA fighters exclusively.
Religiously.
Earlier on, it was Randy Couture.
What are you doing, you maniac? He's breaking a bone with his teeth. Brian is.
Well, that's how tender my meat is. Boom.
Oh,
he's eating the
my
marrow.
God. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, keep going.
So earlier on,
just being a distraction.
Big fan of Randy Couture because he was doing it at a later stage. He continued to do it at a later stage of his career. 48 when he retired, got knocked out. Big fan of Randy Couture. Next biggest fan, Dominic Cruz. My former roommate knows this.
Frank?
Lancelot.
Yeah, we used to crack jokes when we did the show from our apartment.
Then I had a man
we would
crush.
Crack jokes. It was like a running thing.
So Dominic Cruz. And my third crush, Joanne Calderwood. I love the style. I just wish she would not allow herself to get punched in the face as often.
It's the Muay Thai style that bothers you, where that's what we talked about.
Simply out of concern for her, right?
But what I brought up earlier was
she's beautiful. She's beautiful,
cool.
And she's cool. Fuck you, you're in love with her.
So let
me teach you something about talking about women you love. You can go out and you can. Like the way I talk about Rocio is like she's this beautiful, and she is everything I say. This beautiful flower, my goddess, my queen. I put her on a pedestal. It's okay to do that.
You can't do that anymore.
You can. You should. Not. You will. You'll find the right woman, and she'll do that for you. But so she's beautiful. Joanne Calder was beautiful, and you told me before what you really were into was when she was on the show, her accent and the sort of like her voice, and that she doesn't sound like all. Hey, she's like got this sort of meek style of talking that's very cute to you and endearing.
She sounds nice.
Endearing,
nice. Right? Yeah. There's not very many nice girls out.
You've been burned.
Tangent,
you've been hurt.
Tangent. No. So
who did
anyway,
it to you?
I'm a fan of JoJo Calderwood.
Steven.
Earlier on in her career, she had fallen into the trap of like dating her. I think she was like her grappling coach
in Scotland.
When she was in Scotland, her first camp, a camp that got her to the show. She was dating her grappling coach or whatever, and it didn't end well. And for a number of years afterwards, her performance as a fighter suffered because of her mental
lapse.
Right. So she moved from there to TriStar, which up in Canada with George St. Pierre and Why am I brain farting? Because I'm drinking.
Faraz
Hobby. So that camp, I was like, she's gonna go to a camp where they can strategize her striking ability and make
Help
her
her
better,
brain.
and make her better.
Right.
And then for some reason she goes from there to Vegas. I don't know why. Starts going to Syndicate with John Wood, and he's a good coach, great coach. Syndicate's a good camp. But I didn't know earlier on that they started dating. I'm like, dude, you're repeating the same shit.
Cycle. My theory to this, and I could be completely wrong, and this is just me just being a creep, but if you've dated two coaches, there's something to me psychologically that says maybe you're looking for a father figure, and I don't know her situation. I'm not going to act like I know. I don't know if she has a father that she grew up with, but sometimes women will and I'm not trying to sound like a dick. This, again, just a theory, but maybe when they don't have the dad or the father around, they go looking for it when they're adults, and you find it in somebody who is like a coach who would help you out or who would call the shots, and so maybe she's looking for that, and when she realizes that and she dumps him, hello Mando.
So I'm
Look
like
how uncomfortable he gets when you explain how it could happen.
And I don't.
Mondo is afraid of manifestation.
I'm not saying that what you're saying is the reason, but your evidence, in my experience, has been proven true. I dated a cop once, dude, but she just liked that I was super. This is what we're doing. This is what it is, and that's
dominant.
it. Dude, just dominant. She likes just being told.
Or you're
what to do.
masculine.
Masculine, dude. And
I'm more concerned that JoJo's a good fighter, has a good career. I don't like the fact that so far she's won one, but she should have won the last one against. She should have won against Chikagian.
Close.
I don't think.
I don't think it hurt her that bad to lose, though. I don't feel like the
Yeah.
community was like, well, she lost one. It was
No,
sort
I
of
think
like
if she would've won-
that sucked.
I think if she would have beat Chikagian, she would have been in the potential in the mix for a title contention or title shot. But she lost, so now she's got to start from the bottom of
Yeah.
the totem pole. She's got to start. She has to fight one or two more times, and win decisive victories before she could be even considered for a 125 title, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And she could have skipped the line with the Chikagian fight, but didn't. And my opinion is that it's easy to be distracted when you're dating your coach. Is all I'm saying.
Right. I can see that.
That's all I'm saying.
I just want to say,
Good
this is
victory
one of those
today.
weird times where I would think that it would be good to have a video camera on the show. I generally don't like the idea of like, oh, God, that's not good. I generally don't like the idea of distracting the guests of the show with video, but Brian has said maybe 7 words. But what his face and life and hands are saying, very, very more telling.
The tequila.
look at this
and
fucking
everything
guy.
else made him.
He keeps saying that he's drunk, but he keeps taking shots.
and he just ate a bone.
He ate food. He ate a whole meal on the air.
He ate what I feed my dog.
He is attempting to put his tongue in my beehole. I might let him, but no, I'm just kidding.
I might watch. I'm just saying.
Hashtag liquor shit talking.
Give me $5.
All right, so
And yeah, good job, Dustin.
Yeah,
I was
I felt-
rooting for you, bud. I think most of us here on the podcast were really, going for the dog, the Dustin Poirier.
I was hoping Dustin Poirier would win. It was pure domination by Habib and another. And I said this on the show, and it's just like, again, this is my how I feel about the whole thing. I don't see myself being much of a fan of Habib's style of fighting simply because it's just dominance. Like, it's not flat. Like, there isn't very much fun to his style, and I get what he's doing. I understand what he's doing. It's not that I don't know what I'm
It's
watching.
GSP, but he's not
It's-
cute.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, even GSP I got bored of, to tell you
But
back in the
he's,
day.
but he's
Yeah.
good looking, and girls like, oh my god, I creamed my pants.
I don't think anyone ever looked at GSP that
girls
way,
did.
though.
Girls
Yeah,
did.
I did.
Women did.
Yeah, but I'm
Just
saying,
promise
like,
you,
dude.
promise you.
all I'm
promise
saying
you.
is that I don't think that was ever the draw.
For women, absolutely.
But
for
how
guys,
many women
no.
were watching the UFC in George St. Pierre's day?
For men that were questionably their sex.
Me?
Yeah, they might be like, oh, maybe he's.
I never questioned my sex. I just kept having sex until I figured it out, and I was like, yeah, it's still all women.
Hey,
You figured it out, huh?
hey, give me knuckles, dog.
Maybe.
Had to be a guy to know it wasn't for you, right?
Yeah, you gotta fuck a dude to know you don't like it.
No. Boo.
Take a tongue in the butt before you're like, nah, not my thing.
Nah, I don't like guys.
I had to stop midway through and say, hey, bro, this ain't for me. Sorry.
And I was
But
expecting
if
like
you need to
Daniel
finish,
I was
finish.
expecting Daniel to go on like crazy rants where we'd have to like stop him, and he's been pretty quiet this whole time. I like it too.
No,
No, he's
I've been
eating.
quiet. I'm talking.
But
I'm not saying you're not talking. I'm just saying I expected you to go like nuts, and we were gonna
do-
have to like calm you.
have you ever had a tongue in your butt, bro?
That's not crazy.
Have you ever had multiple?
No.
at the
But I
same
want to.
time?
But I want to know the story of it.
Yes,
If it
next
happened.
question.
No,
No,
I
that's
want to
why-
hear the
that's why
story
that
of
question-
Listen,
how it
you,
happened.
question
listen.
was
You
too
told a whole
vanilla.
you told a whole story about him. Now he's getting.
Okay.
That's fair.
This
You
question
got
That
it.
question was too
Sorry.
vanilla.
You
I want to
made
know
the
how
story.
many times.
I dated this girl.
Hold
right?
on.
Yeah.
And she just.
No names. All right.
See, that's all you have to say is
Alright.
I dated a girl. That's
Alyssa
it.
Razzo.
Ah.
What? We guys share names? Okay.
Could you imagine being a friend of his
I'm
and
not
just
a friend.
knowing that at any point he could bring your name up, and not give a fuck?
So, she's just right there, dude. I'm laying down on the bed, laying back on the bed. She's like, she used to call me daddy a lot, right? So, daddy, oh, daddy. I didn't really care for it, but if it made her happy, I let her do it.
Such a liar.
No, I really don't care for the daddy thing, dude. My girl now to this day,
I'm
dude,
lying about her actually calling you daddy.
No. That's
Now his
I-
girl's Hispanic, so she says Papa.
No. I have friends. I have friends that'll vouch for this because they make fun
Why
of it.
would they vouch for you?
Because-
what kind of
because-
assholes are they? That they're like, hold on, if you ever need to explain
Call me.
the
I'm the guy.
I'll vouch.
Well, this is
You're
why.
like, yeah,
dude,
now I'm glad you said
my
that.
friend brought it up in front of my girl now. Like, oh, remember you dated Alyssa and she called you daddy? every
What kind
5
of
minutes?
friend is that?
Right? Okay, exactly. But
Bury that
now very
motherfucker.
sarcastically, my girl will be like, "I'm ready for you, daddy," and I'm like, "Oh," and in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, but she does it jokingly just to be a biatch, right? And she goes, "Oh, that's what you like? That's why you dated that one girl, huh? That called you daddy all the time?" I was like, "What the fuck? Where's this
In the
coming
middle,
from?"
in the
Hey,
middle of
You
sex.
should have checked your friend.
Why
Yeah.
gotta bring up bullshit?
Oh, dude, I have. But anyway, so I dated this girl, right? And she's like, "Oh, lay back, daddy." I'm like, "Daddy, lay back." All right.
Wait, you responded back, daddy laying back?
No, I'm just saying, like,
No,
my
yeah,
mind.
You
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think you did. I think
He
you
probably
did.
I
did.
guarantee this motherfucker
Look at that
did.
good story,
Good story.
Yeah.
Makes the story better. You
What
laid
an
back.
asshole.
You laid
You're an
back.
absolute asshole.
Anyway,
Hey,
Daddy's
doing what you told him to.
She blindfolded you, and then she called you daddy.
Hey,
You
daddy,
watched
Daddy's laying back. What's good? What's next? All right, and she's just
you watched
right there.
American Pie too many times.
and she's just right there. Got. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
What does
God.
gok mean?
The double fist twist got combo.
The
Yeah,
double
on you,
fist
isn't it more?
twist. Double fist
It's a little
twist.
shorter,
Gok,
right?
gok.
So after she was done flossing, let me get to my point.
What was
Alright.
her name again? I just want to see if I want to see if I can catch you. No,
You
don't,
really-
no, don't. Probably not good for you or anyone.
Unnecessary.
Adolf Hitler.
Just
Anyway.
tell the story.
No, so yeah,
Bobby.
so bap, and then like, okay, cool.
Bobby Hill.
Daddy this, daddy that, daddy this, daddy that. Cool.
You know, daddy this, daddy that.
Next thing you know is just like my legs hit me in the temple, dude. Like my ankles just.
Your legs hit your temple?
Yeah,
You-
she just-
He felt the hands grab the back of his knees, and
As
then
soon-
his legs went up next to his ears.
I love
And
this.
I'm pretty sure he was questionable as to should I let this happen
His
or should
legs
I
No,
stop?
flew
where I
back.
started to question myself, dude, is when I held my legs there.
Oh,
That's when I started questioning
Exactly.
myself.
You were-
exactly.
this is what people need to hear. This is what people need to
You
hear.
were looking for things to hold them for
Yeah.
you, to do the work for you. You're like,
I grabbed them.
Samesies.
I grabbed them
Samesies.
because I was thinking to myself, like, what are you? And I tried to look too, like, what are you doing, dude? You know? And she was just right there, like,
Stop it.
and then it was like Yoshi was there,
He
dude.
wanted to make this sound. This motherfucker was trying to make the sound right now.
Like Yoshi, dude. Right?
this is what you need video, sir.
This is shit people want to hear right now.
And literal shit came out. You know?
Oh, no, get the fuck
I'm
out of
just
here,
kidding,
dude. Get
I'm
out of
just
here.
kidding.
Disgusting.
No, I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
On
But-
next week's episode
and
of
that was-
Mouthy's Moment,
That was the first time I thought, man, that girl should really wear a mouthpiece.
Okay. Working all the way up to a pun.
If
Working
you're
all the-
still listening, at any point that there's a cousin cast, this is what's gonna happen. It's drunken wildness.
So at no point did you like fucking flex out like an ironing board?
I
like,
know. I'm not. No, because you know why? I would have hurt her, dude, and I wasn't into that.
Like no.
I'm not. I don't hurt females, bro.
The one time that shit happened to me, it was the same shit like you were saying.
stop
It was the fucking double fist twit got combo. What got me kind of anxious. I'm not even. I'm
You
just
said
saying.
got combo?
Yeah, got combo.
Oh, you know what happened, dude?
Same
Is
shit,
I let
anxious.
my curiosity grab a hold of me, dude. And I was like,
Exactly.
maybe I'll like this,
Yeah.
dude.
Right, you gotta
I've
test
heard.
it out.
I've heard somebody talk about, and lo and behold, dude, like,
Now it's a routine with you and your girlfriend.
and then she did it.
Now you lick your own butthole.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just before I get in the shower, dude, I just wet my hand. And
Sometimes nowadays
Oh,
you don't gotta take a
no.
shit, but you go to the bathroom with some paper towels, wet them a little bit.
It's kind of
and
weird
wipe
when
your butt just to
when
feel
you're
it.
like in the middle of sex and then you get a girl in an arm bar and you're like, hey. She's like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't like the tongue. It wasn't my shit. Wasn't my thing.
Don't ever talk again.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
This show ran a lot smoother
No, it's good.
when you were just eating bones.
I'm glad he's talking now, to tell you the
Yeah,
truth. Because
to be
before it
honest
was
with you.
weird to have someone sitting next to you just like emoting but not talking.
Just
Like
swallowing.
he's doing
meat,
stuff with his
staring you in the
hands
eye.
but not talking. I was like, what?
That was a whole lot of this episode.
You're fun,
Well,
you know.
visually,
you
I
were
was
you were
fun.
you were jerking the microphone stand off. That was kind of cool.
Visually, I was fun.
Thank you, Thea.
I'm going to work.
She's going to work
Yeah.
There's a
now.
lot of donuts in the kitchen. Take
There's
some.
a
Hey,
lot- there's a
hey,
lot of
hey,
zombios.
podcast line. In case you want donuts, my mom has
If
donuts.
you want obesity,
You guys
there's.
have too much to drink? Don't drive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those look like
Not you. I'm talking about me.
So she brought out these donuts and
Who invited her?
They look laced because they're called zombios.
Ooh, we should try them.
They might turn you into a zombie.
Oh.
We are gonna do zombio bowls later tonight. In case you're
Zombie.
So now that the cat's out of the bag, I want to talk about my podcast sponsor. And that's it's hard to say, but this is Zombios. So thank you guys.
Zombios.
Thank you guys, Zombios from Kroger.
I thought
You can pick us up at Walmart.
Dude, just keep inviting me, dude, and this person will sponsor you.
What if I don't like you though? Like, what if I'm not a fan of you as a human? What
You
if
know what?
every time I look at you, I'm like, man, I'd rather be anywhere else.
I'm telling you right now, dude. I think like 90% of the girls I hooked up with and I'm still friends with didn't like me. But if I hit them up right now, like, hey, let's hang out, they'd hang out.
You talk a lot about the girls you used to hook up with. Is there a part of you that feels like this sort of, I don't know, weird, like you should get a praise? Like you're in a relationship now, so
No, yeah,
you
definitely.
bring it up a
pretty much
lot
married.
about.
No.
All I'm saying, I know I'm not saying you obviously you love her, but I'm saying, what is it about those old days that really get you going, knowing that
you know what it
still
is,
talking
dude?
about it constantly?
you know
Do you
what
feel
it
like a
is,
champ? Like, are you one of those guys that wore your Letterman jacket like 2 years after high school?
Dude, I
I
was too
did.
poor to own
You
a
did?
Letterman jacket. You
Oh,
know what I did,
goddamn it.
dude? I stitched my patch onto my own jacket, dude, and made my own Letterman.
I did not. I
That's
got
pretty good.
I
That's
got to
pretty
go to
good.
Sergeant's.
I didn't
That's
even
true.
have money to go to Sergeant's, bro. My mom was like, Letterman, que chingados is that, dude? Like,
Letterman.
My uncles and my mom paid for it, and then they gave me shit about it for an entire year. Like I had any choice. Like they just did it.
no, I
Didn't give
saved-
me a chance to get to. My parents, not my parents, but my mom and my uncles, they like fought each other for like supremacy of who paid the most. Like they're all shitty about it. They were just like, "I'll see you later. Thank you." Yeah, they were all like arguing like, "Oh, I
better
paid the
than you
most,"
'cause
and
I
I was
paid
like,
more.
"Jesus, I wish I would have just gotten a job and paid for it myself, so I didn't
So,
have to hear a guilt trip about three
I own
assholes."
the rights to Lance more when he wears it.
If Lance goes to college, it's because I bought his
'Cause
Letterman jacket.
I bought him something that he didn't give a fuck about after high school.
Hey, did you know Lance was doing a podcast? Yeah, you know I bought his Letterman jacket.
I pretty much skyrocketed him into that route. Had he not had that, he wouldn't have had the confidence to talk on microphone.
Look, you know,
Oh, would you let her in public speaking?
Exactly. Just a fucking microphone.
A
on
microphone. Hey, that's
Hey,
actually pretty badass.
You're
though.
lucky.
I
that-
would want a microphone.
You're lucky I
badge.
bought something to make you feel better than everyone else.
How about Brian's 2 hours away from being on his third dream, dude?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the show. We're pretty much going to wrap up here. Anything else? And anyone wants to
yeah.
wrap?
Hashtag David Rotana. Hashtag Dustin Poirier. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Hashtag John Caldwell. Hashtag Pamela Lodenstein. How's it going?
Ooh.
Hashtag Sven Lorimer. Hashtag Josh Avalez. You do your podcast a couple weeks ago with my cuz. Good podcast. Appreciate the honesty, man, and the openness.
That's awesome. That was a really good episode, and I really hope that people listen to that one and sort of see from the beginning to end like what that dude went through, and he's generally looked at as like this cholo dude who's a fighter and he's kind of a scumbag. But if you really like hear the podcast and where he came from, like you can see how he's a little rough around the edges, but there's he's really like a big-hearted dude, and so. I agree. That episode was pretty cool, and especially because he opened up and decided to really let out what he wanted to talk about, and really like open his heart or whatever. And Hashtag Pam Lodenstein. Yeah, Pam. I feel really bad. Pam's my good friend. She's been on the podcast before. She lives in Michigan. She's this fucking badass chick who's been on the show before. And she came down to L.A. She comes like once a year to hang out with her friends in Malibu. And she was like, I'm going to be on the show. And we set this whole thing up. And I ended up having to bail like day of because Dominic got really sick. And I felt weird about having people over to the apartment while like a sick kid is snotting everywhere. So I had to cancel it, but Pam should be on again, and she was on the first time she was on. Mando was there, and those two fucking like as friends hit it off pretty well, and it was awesome. And so
I was pretty big for the most.
And I put something up about having a cousin cast, and I tagged Mando, and she was like, "Cousin Mando, what's up?" So sending the shout out back. Everyone's sending shout outs. Anything else, guys?
Shout outs.
Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, dude.
I just want to say again to my queen, my baby.
Oh yeah!
Thank you for housing my baby.
Congratulations, Lancelot, making babies and shit since 1942.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's
like the most fun thing I've ever done.
I'm not wishing for ill health or anything. But
Jesus Christ,
listen,
man!
I want her to be premature by 10 days so that we can have the same birthday.
18th?
Yes.
That's your birthday?
That'd be great.
That way it'd be
Praise
Brian's Brian's daughter's December 18.
Yep,
me December 18. If Ro
I'm
happened
just
to
worried
squeeze
that
the puppy out
I'm just worried that
a
she'll
little bit
be
early.
like you. You know?
No, she don't have to be me.
That's the least of your worries. What if she ended up like
Trust.
Brian?
Like, you suck pretty bad.
I
don't
do.
know that-
I'm kind of shitty.
I'm just
But I'm just saying, like, if she
No.
came out, it'd be kind of cool.
Because
Same birthday.
okay, so it's you two
Glad
and
you
who
did it,
else?
Pula.
His
And his
daughter
daughter.
My
and
daughter.
me, as far as I know. And there's
But
a
there was
couple,
like a third person though. I think you guys brought this up last week at the. Okay, maybe
Just
anyway.
two.
No, the
Fuck,
my
man.
son's birthday. There's a
At
lot of
least I know
people.
she'll be
It's
smart.
David's dad, David's daughter, and then my son all share the same birthday.
What's the
Yes.
birthday?
September 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Got
they all
less
three
than
of
3
them.
weeks for that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Again, if
thank you
if
for
you're
having me.
listening on like on some link or whatever, that you can always go to Stitcher. You can always go to Spotify now, iTunes. Spread the word. Let everyone know. If you want to be on the show, hit me up. We're always willing to have, anyone who's fun and cool and sort of understands what we're doing here. If you want to promote something, you send me some free shit. I'll talk about it as long as it doesn't suck.
And if you want to make babies without a father,
We're your guys.
Hit me
I'm volunteering.
Mondo's
Wait,
favorite.
are you saying you're gonna donate your sperm and
Yes,
not?
Mondo's favorite line is, "Hey, baby, you want to go halfers on a bastard?"
Oh my God!
I've heard him say that
no.
once before.
I feel like here's my thing. I feel like
like Jon
Mando
Snow.
really would really love to be a dad. I feel like that.
He would.
I'd be honest.
He would.
That's my thought.
He
And
would.
Are we getting serious?
he would never. He would never.
One more hour of podcast coming up. Just kidding. Joke.
Ooh, do you want to get into this? So
No.
how does it?
Yeah,
I got a question. Let's get psychological.
Let's make it another hour. Let's
On
make
the
another
next
hour
episode of the
fact that
Mouthpiece Moment,
Mondo being a
breaking
dad.
down my brain.
So
Breaking down Mondo's ball sack.
so you're single, no kids, you live in the
Jesus
dream.
Christ. I'm going to go
Um,
get some more ice.
I knew it.
Thank you for having me on this podcast, Lance. I appreciate it.
Right. Thank you guys for all being on. We got to go finish drinking and swimming in the
And
pool
swimming.
and all that. So thank you guys again. Also, one more thing. If you... The whole idea of this show is we eventually want to get to a point where we make money this way. So if you want to throw some money and you believe in us and what we're doing, let us know. Hit us up, mouthpiecemoment@gmail.com. These are fun episodes, but some of them we actually we give a fuck, and we're trying to make some stuff happen. So
At the end of the day, I mean,
yeah. mouthpiecemoment@gmail.com, or you can check me out on my Instagram at Lance LANCE _ Uribe _ URIBE LANCE _ URIBE. You can hit up my co-host who's not here because he's jerking off to Stained, Sven at Kung KUNG _ FU Fu _ Svenny SVENNY. Mando, you can reach him at LastManStanding33 on Instagram. Daniel, what's yours?
Daniel Roger Romero, one word, my full name.
And Brian, what's your Instagram?
Brian _ duh is DUH _ DOY. But I wouldn't recommend you follow me.
Because you
Pretty-
don't ever jump on,
Which
bro.
clearly means follow me. But thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. And go fuck yourselves.
Love you
Good
guys.
night.